what's your favorite deck in Magic?
I am a baby player, and I'm playing blue and red.
Okay, very good combination this weekend.
Yeah. It's what I think is called the Storm deck, something like
That's
that.
the most complicated deck to play. Magali, you're picking the hardest deck.
I'm not sure that's the one actually, but it's anyway. It's red and blue, and I've got one of my favorite cards in the game, which is Nive Misette Parrain. And this one, when it started, you know, when you can have time to build your thing, it's wonderful. So many effects going on, and I love it.
Noises, arena.
Oh
makes all the sounds
yeah.
for you.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Feels exciting.
Yeah. I love it.
What was your favorite art to illustrate?
It's hard to tell because it's changing all the time, and we have so many great opportunities to be working on so many different things. I mean, you have the Magic game itself, and now we have the Universe Beyond sets and all. So it's hard for me to tell you just one, but for the purely Magic side, I would say my favorite one is, for the time being, the Death Shadow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a card I made for the my own artists series set. Maybe, I don't know if it still exists, but at some point they were editing these 4 card sets dedicated to one Magic artist.
Yes, that you could buy separately, the secret layers.
Yeah, absolutely. And for these sets, we were able to do whatever we wanted.
Oh, you picked the cards?
We could send a selection list of the cards we wanted to do, and of course, Wizards had to approve these cards and all. That's not how I proceeded. That is, I didn't really want to choose my cards because I was more interested in knowing what my art directors would choose for me.
Okay.
I was really interested in that.
Like a secret Santa.
Yeah,
for cards that you draw.
Yeah, exactly. I only asked for one thing, is that I wanted to have a basic land, because if players know my work, they know that I'm not really well known for lands in general. I'm more into characters and humanoids and things like that.
Planeswalkers are exceptional.
Yeah. That's my main skill, I would say. But I really wanted at least one basic land, because players kept asking me to have lands so they could build an all Magali deck.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Not only is that really cool as a deck, but that's really sweet.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Yeah, it's really sweet. So Wizards gave me a forest. But aside from that, there was no art direction at all. We could do whatever we wanted, go wild and so on. So I really had a great time working on that secret lair, and especially the Death Shadow, because it was an occasion for me to, first of all, it was two love letters, I would say. One love letter to a close family I had lost not very long ago. It was a bit sad moment of my life, but at least I could put something of that inside in the card. And also a love letter to one of my main influences, which is classical art. And actually, the Death Shadow is inspired by the Pietà, which is a sculpture of a woman holding a dead body. Okay. And it's an actual sculpture.
It's a Madonna, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Holding,
yeah. And this is what the Death Shadow is inspired by. It shows how much I love classical art, which is my main starting influence, actually.
That's wonderful. That adds so much depth to the card. Now people, they play it, but they can also...
Yeah, there is a story behind the card.
Yeah. So if someone goes out and looks for the secret lair Magali Villeneuve, they get a forest, they get a Death Shadow, and what else do they get?
They also get an Elvish Mystic.
Okay, that's a wonderful card.
And a Mother of Runes, too, which is a really nice card. Yeah,
that's cool. So now if they want a full Magali deck, I don't know how they're going to cast the Death Shadow off of the forest, but they're going to find a way. Good luck. You can get some artifacts that maybe filter mana or something. That's wonderful. No, I have one last thing I would like to touch on with you. So as you said, Wizards of the Coast, when designing the cards, does a wonderful job at taking the art and making text that kind of matches in a way where you feel an identity to the card. Like the card feels like it flies, or whatever this character would do is well represented in the rules and in the art. How much direction do you get when you come to make, like, what kind of brief do you receive? And how much do you know about the actual card when you are illustrating it?
Actually, I think players would be surprised by how little we know when we are working on the cards.
So you're just a mind reader?
Yeah, kind of. We are used to, you know.
I saw you and I knew.
Yeah, I have special powers. No, actually we know about the color of the card, of course, because whenever you are working, for example, for a blue card, there has to be some blue in your illustration, so it's better to know. We know the type of card it's going to be, but we know nothing about the, you know, for example, the strengths of the card or the actual mechanics of it. So what we are given is that, the color, the type, and also, in general, a pretty small brief telling us what has to be going on the card. So, for example, for my Tamiyo card, which is a flying one,
Yes.
for one side, they asked me to represent Tamiyo in a big library, flying, and that's pretty much it, actually.
I mean, you did a really good job at representing that. That card is very popular.
That's our job, to find solutions, you know, so.
I don't know how apocryphal this is, but I've heard that often they'll have rules text for a card, they'll send it to the artist, you'll send something back and they'll be like, well, this is perfect, let's change the rule text to match the... I don't know how often this happens, I know it's happened a few times.
Yeah.
So maybe you've even inspired cards and made them better from your art added.
Yeah, it's even better when it happens that way, actually, yes, yeah.
Listen, Magali Villeneuve, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I know you're very busy and you have a lot of, you only have a little bit of time between going to meet a lot of other people.
Little bit of time to eat, little bit of time to stand.
Well, we're in France, so the food is going to be good, so bon appétit.
Yeah, merci beaucoup.
And we'll send you back to the casters and let's watch some more games of Magic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome back. This is the top 8 of Spotlight Avatar here in Lyon, and we have a top 8 for you. Yeah, we have the bracket, but before that, let's take a look at the prizes so you all know what exactly we're playing here for. Not only are the players in the top 64 going to get some extra money, first place getting $10,000, but top 8 also receives a Pro Tour invite into the Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven later this year in Las Vegas, USA.
Yeah. That is quite the prize amount, and of course, holding the trophy is a prestigious thing for your career that you can always brag with, and it's just something very special.
Exactly, and here's the bracket. So tell me what's going on. There's a lot of lessons with a lot of Simic.
Yeah, we have 3 Simic Ouroboros, Simon Nielsen and Guillermo Lupi, unfortunately facing off here in the quarters directly, the 2 teammates. We have 3 Izzet lessons, and then we have Boros Aggro and Mono Green Landfall. Yeah, it's a pretty cool top 8. We have some Hall of Fame here. We have one of the best players currently in the game. We have Guillermo Lupi, who has Mox win into Antwerp finals, into another top 8 here, just all
insane.
The big events.
Yeah.
He's running hot right now. Yeah, awesome stuff. And we're gonna start off with the Gaetan mirror match, Mono Green Landfall with Simic Ouroboros, which is an interesting matchup. I don't think we've seen it much on camera. Yeah, the last Landfall player standing in the tournament, can he succeed and march forward to the finals? He's going to face Simic again in the quarterfinals, that is already clear. And on the other bracket, we will have the feature, the backup feature match. It will be Lucas versus Willie,
which we're also going to show.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm looking at the standings, and Lupi has only lost. We played 15 rounds of Swiss. He only lost 6 games.
That's incredible.
That's insane. And somehow he has 2 losses, so he spread the losses in the worst possible way. Regardless, he's in the top 8. But he only lost 6 games so far. Lucas has lost 7, and Timothée has lost 8. So these players are running particularly hot in this tournament, with Gaetan being the first seed at 13-2 with his Mono Green Landfall deck. So yeah, let's see Mono Green Landfall against Simic Ouroboros. Have you played that matchup?
I have seen that matchup in action. I don't know if I've played it myself. I certainly spent some time in the Discord server where they play testing the matchup. I would say that the Ouroboros deck is a little bit more consistent. It does more often, you know, the powerful thing, because it has more 1-drops that ramp out mana. It has the Spider Manifestation. It's just a little bit better at the sort of goldfishing, and this is really a goldfish matchup. Die roll is really important too, and yeah, again, like a really fast hand. You have to mulligan to a fast hand. You can't play the grindy game here. This is not a Quantum Riddler matchup. This is a Nature's Rhythm into Badger Mole into go crazy and create a Hofdown.
Yeah, no interaction, right, basically?
Very, very little. I think we have, let's take a look at the deck lists. We have in the Simic Ouroboros, we have 2 Spider Sense, and actually an unusual card that we don't often see. Spider Sense not that great in this matchup, of course, but we have Feral Encounter, which is a 2-mana sorcery. Look at the top 5. You may exile a creature card from among them, and then you can fight a card of the opponent. It's a really interesting effect, sort of a fight spell. So there's a little bit of fighting going on, a Bushwhack too, and otherwise just a very straightforward list.
There it is. There you have the mono green landfall deck here on the screen, one of the most popular decks online, but I don't know how successful it was this weekend. I mean, Gaetan certainly having a good run himself, but it looks like the Simic and the Lessons deck were the decks of the tournament.
Well, it had a really strong win rate on day 1, 60%, which is quite good.
Yeah, that's really good.
But it didn't convert to that many top 8s, so that makes you wonder, maybe the players on day 2 with the open deck list also might have had a better game against the mono green deck, knowing that they're up against this deck and they have to have interaction at the ready. And again, here a list low on Lumbering Wordwagon, just playing 1 copy and going for the Mossborn Hydra and Bristly Bill instead. Here we have Gaetan Bossy's list. Yeah, very straightforward. 4 Mockingbirds, so that is quite good in the gold fishing matchups. And then some interaction spells, as I said, the Feral Encounter, Archdruid's Charm is a one-off, and a Spider Senses, and a Bushwhack. I like this list, looks pretty clean. Yeah, and he's probably happy, but we will... this is top 8, so first seed against 8th seed here. And that means that the mono green landfall player will have the say in who goes first, which is huge in this matchup.
Looks like the players are ready, and yeah, Gaetan is indeed going first with a turn 1 Llanowar Elf, so the best possible start. Oh, we have 2 Gaetans.
Yeah, I have not seen...
I just realized
well, they're
that.
not quite the same. See, there's the double dots over there and the apostrophe.
So we can just say our French player and our Swiss player.
We could say the last names I gave. Bossy against Verdier. Yeah, it's quite interesting. I've never seen that name in my life before, and now we have 2 against each other.
All right, so turn 1 Llanowar Elf, sort of the perfect start into a turn 2 Earthbender Ascension. So some pretty nice ramp for our French player here.
Yeah, noteworthy, by the way, Stefan Schütz made 10th place with the same 75 as Loopy and Simon.
That's insane, yeah.
Yeah, so
that
they were
wild.
4th, 5th, and 10th, so super impressive. Just missing out on tiebreakers, the top 8, also at X3, but we had a couple people miss on X3. All right, yeah, Llanowar Elf for the Earthbender Ascension on the play is a phenomenal start here. Do we have a Badger Mole Cup? That's really the deciding factor here. There is one.
Oh, there is one. Yeah, there's a foil one. Let's turn that Verge into a creature. And Pollinator now taps for 2. That's going to allow him to cast a Spider Manifestation.
Wow.
That's a pretty good turn 2.
Yeah, just your casual, what is this, 7 mana next turn?
Just setting up for a lethal Crater of Behemoth.
I saw a Crater of in hand actually, but I don't think there's a third land, excuse me. So we might... Yeah, we're missing essentially a mana for that.
This looks like this is going to be a fast match either way.
Yeah.
Chocobo.
We both had some incredibly long rounds today, featuring long matches that gone to time. So I don't mind some quick, fast-paced matches for a change.
All right, land for the turn is a Fabled Passage, so that's going to allow our French player some landfall shenanigans. There's one more Earthbender Ascension. Turns that Fabled Passage into a creature.
Yeah, the landfall deck is somewhat intricate to play. You do have to be very careful, like when do you crack a land, when do you earthbend onto a fetch land. There's a lot of little things, and knowing the deck inside and out certainly helps a lot in getting those extra points. What's
the upside here of earthbending on the fetch land?
Yeah, you get essentially a bunch of more landfall triggers. You get 2 landfall triggers right away when you crack it on the first run, and then you get it tapped back for next turn again, so you get even more landfall triggers. It's a really powerful synergy.
Infinite lands hack. All right, Chocobo goes to 2 counters, and Gaetan is forced to just pass the turn. So, yeah, I mean, that was okay, but he's kind of missing the Harmonizer and, you know, some of the cards that allow him to really go crazy. Now the question is, does Bossy have a land plus Behemoth, or a way to put it into play through possibly another Badger Mole Cub?
I think we might just have lethal here, honestly. Maybe I'm mistaken, but we do have a Mockingbird. So tap the Willow Rush Verge, make the Botanical Sanctum, like make another Badger Mole with the Mockingbird, then make the Botanical Sanctum into a mana, tap the Mockingbird we just played with the Gene Pollinator, tap the Spider Manifestation, tap the Botanical Sanctum, play a Crater Hoof, untapping the Spider Manifestation. That gives us 3 creatures that have no summoning sickness, and we have in total 7 creatures in play. I think we're looking at, like, what is that, 27 damage? Trample? Is there more we can produce? I mean, this turn is going to be incredible. Regardless, we might just have a turn 3 kill here.
I'm here for it. There's a Mockingbird.
Yeah, and playing the full 4 Mockingbird makes these Goldfish matchups even better.
Yeah.
Simon and Loopy, they only have 2. Because Mockingbird is a little worse into the interactive decks. But yeah, now we tap the Mockingbird, Badger Mole Cup with the Pollinator, and then we have this is 9 mana, cast the Crater Hoof, untap the Spider Manifestation, attack for 27. On the other side, we have not enough toughness to hold this. No, it's just game.
So it's 3 mana from the Manifestation.
Yes.
6 mana total, 8 mana total.
9 actually.
Or 9 mana total. 9 mana total. Yeah.
And there's a Crater Hoof in hand.
This is the slowest Crater Hoof.
Yeah. This is just he's double checking. You know, it's been a long day.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's an Ouroboros. We have some mana floating. Can we just play both?
Am I missing something? We have 5 floating. I guess. I guess we can. Yeah, we can. Okay, fair enough.
Manifestation on taps. We have, oh my god, that's 8.
Untap the Spider.
So that's Ouroboros and
Don't forget to untap the Spider. Okay.
This is turn 3 Ouroboros and Crater Hoof Behemoth. Yes. Are you kidding me?
Yes, and that is actually 1,000,000 damage. Because you can stack the Crater Hoof is now an 8 power and gives everything 8 counters.
Hello.
That is.
Can somebody in the chat please do the math? How much damage are we dealing here?
We are looking at 8 plus 8. Plus
I think that's
7 plus, gosh.
That is lethal, yeah.
16, 32, 48, 50, 55. We have 57 damage coming across with Trample.
I think we can safely conclude that was indeed lethal.
That was a turn 3, 57 damage. And that is the power of Ouroboros.
Exactly.
This deck is just ridiculous. Like, can you believe that you can do this in Standard?
Yeah.
All right, we're taking a look at the sideboard here. Those 2 copies of Into the Floodmoor are definitely going to come in here. A 1 mana interaction spell is great. Unable to Scream.
Anything that lets you interact, basically, right? Yeah.
We got the Maelstrom Resolve, a very nice fight spell. Maybe bring in the original of Metal Bending? Honestly, no, actually not. There's no World Wagon in the other list, so there's probably just not enough good targets for that one. So you could bring in some Curators to mess with the Ice Steel Explorer a little bit. But yeah, it might just be a couple interaction spells for some of the Riddlers, some of the slower cards, and you know, then you're good to go again. I mean, it worked out just fine, even on the draw here for Bossy. Yeah, and looking at Verdier's sideboard, he has the 2 more copies of Mossborn Hydra. They are, I think, going to come in here because it's just perfect for a matchup where there's little interaction. That card can deal a ton of damage, and then also 4 copies of Maelstrom Resolve. So I think we're going to see those 4 come in. to deal with the Badger Mole Cups and to prevent what just happened right there.
Yeah, but watching the first game, being on the play has to be the biggest advantage.
Well, Bossy won on the draw here. Impressively, he.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Simic deck is just it's just so much because it has more Badger Mole Cups. Badger Mole Cup is just the most broken card in these matchups.
Yeah,
it has that advantage in this particular setting.
This event is certainly what I'm learning from here is certainly that you need to be able to interact in this format. There's a lot of decks that are trying to goldfish, you know, whether it's mono green landfall or allies or the Ouroboros deck. People are starting with turn 1 Grand, turn 1 Llanowar Elf, that you really, really want the interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more with that.
That's exactly why we're watching 2 non-interactive decks in the quarters. But I just mean kind of like moving forward. You know, if you're planning for a tournament next week, perhaps, if you're playing the Pro Tour in 2 weeks from now, I would definitely be looking at decks that can interact, that can stop all this Badger Mole Cup nonsense.
Yep. I'm looking through the top 8 players survey right now. And looking at Bossy's, we have a Amonkhet Game Day winner as previous Magic accomplishments.
Cool. Amonkhet was a great set.
Yeah, that was a cool one. And why did you choose this deck for this weekend? It makes 10 mana on turn 3.
Yeah.
I think they just showed
confirmed. We can confirm that, yeah. Our French player starts with a turn 2 Badger Mole Cup, so now he is the one on board quickly with his best card in the deck. And yeah, Badger Mole Cup as well for our Swiss player. What is the follow-up?
Do you remember that screenshot of the Cards of Tarkir Pro Tour where Arelax plays against Thiago Saporito and there's siege rhinos everywhere? It's like photoshopped on everything because they're just siege rhinoing each other. Can we do that with the Badger Moles too? This is how we thought the World Championship would look like.
Yeah.
Then it was all Izzet decks, and the Autos deck was not good. But to be honest, I don't think the Autos deck is good against the Simic Ouroboros deck either. The Simic Ouroboros is just so incredibly explosive and consistent. I think the Autos deck is just a little too slow against that.
There's so many redundant pieces in like the mana door category too. There's a Hydra.
Yeah, if you get a fetch land, that's quite impressive. I can already tell you that it's going to be difficult to kill on turn 3 this time because there was no mana dog on turn 1.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible then.
Yeah, there is a Fabled Passage indeed, so the Mossborn Hydra is going to start doubling.
Yeah, it's growing into a 4/4, and then 8/8, then 16. If we get any more shenanigans, more fetch lands, this might just attack for 32 next turn. So... But right now it's just a 4/4. Maybe it can be dealt with. I saw an Archdruid's Charm, but that's just not enough because it just deals 3 damage. If you use the fight mode on that one. Another Badger Mole Cup, oh my goodness. Yes, that's how we do it. Can't quite make out the hand. I think I see a couple of Quantum Riddlers. They're not great here. I think I see an Ouroboros.
This doesn't seem like a Riddler matchup to me.
Yeah, he might have just left. They might have just left some in. Maybe well.
Any chance like a Tishana's Tidebinder or?
No.
I think there was one in the sideboard.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, there is one in the sideboard. Yeah, correct.
Well, they're
not a
Badger Mole Cup number 3.
Well, the thing is that the Hydra might just attack for 32, so... But it all depends on Gitan Vidyear's hand. A smile.
Vidyear seems very, very relaxed. Like this is kind of like what a person looks like when they have the kill next turn. It's like, yeah, whatever. Play your Badger Mole Cups. You know, I don't mind. It's okay. I'm just gonna make this Hydra 32 next turn and attack for lethal. No big deal.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's way too relaxed. Like I would be like, oh my god, 3 Badger Mole Cups, man. It's gonna be a hard game. You know, so much mana. Yeah, this is the. Oh wow.
It doesn't crack, which is correct. That would have given Bossy a window to kill the Hydra with the Archdruid's Charm. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, do we have the kill here?
yeah, keeping his cards close to the chest.
So what does Verdier need here? How does he win?
He needs another fetch land and a way to ramp a land into play. That is 32.
Earthbender's Ascension.
Yes, exactly. Earthbending would also do it. He could just play another Badgermole Cup, Earthbend onto the Fabled Passage, and that would also do the trick. So he's got some outs for sure. Might Form Harmonizer might also just be lethal. It's like I don't know, 15 cards in, in the deck, but plus a fetch land to be fair. So it's like a 2-card combination. And the fetch land is very important in that combination of cards.
He's a Badgermole Cup as well.
Ice Till Explorer. Well, yeah, this plus a fetch. Okay.
I wonder if he has that extra land.
Yeah, if he does not, then he's probably passing the turn to your opponent who is on 12 mana might not work out for you.
I have to say, I do love how much Avatar changed Standard. Like we have seen decks like Allies. We're looking at decks like Is It Lesson? All these Badgermole Cup decks. I think that's a very welcome, shake up for Standard that, used to have a lot of red decks dominate the metagame in the last couple sets or, rotations.
I don't think I see a land.
That would be unfortunate.
What do we? I saw an Ice Till Explorer. There's another Badger. There's an Earthbending Ascension. Okay.
So that does get him the land, plus, but it's gonna Earthbend on the Fabled Passage.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That works, I think. Right?
Is that enough?
So we have one,
The land
two,
comes
3 triggers. 4, 8,
16. Maybe it's not enough.
The passage enters tap.
Tapped, yeah, exactly. The passage goes tapped.
It's an Archdruid's Charm now. Doing what? Oh, I love it.
Okay.
That forces, such a smart play. That forces now Verdier to protect the Hydra to have to crack the Fabled Passage. And that way, the Earthbend fizzles. Does that mean he doesn't even get to search for a land? Let me just read Earthbend Ascension real quick. That would be incredible.
So he does crack the land in response. There's a landfall trigger.
This might actually fizzle.
We get a counter on Ascension.
I think that fizzles completely.
So what exactly is happening here?
So because the Earthbending targeted the Fabled Passage, the entire trigger of searching for a basic land, and I think that's what they're discussing right now,
okay.
fizzles because Earthbend is a target. And it doesn't say target player searches then for a library.
It just has one target and it's all one ability.
Target. Yeah, so they're double checking with the judges now. But very impressive to see that line of play. I love it. I will say, I mean, there was no Nature's Rhythm, no Cradle in hand for a Swiss player. Just the Riddlers. So, Verdier might just untap again and can do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently they're getting the head judge maybe to make a ruling here. And try to figure out how to resolve the situation. But as far as I understand it, he does not get even the land trigger. So that was a huge blowout.
Yeah, I'm getting told that it's exactly what you're saying. Like they're trying to figure out what happens now. How exactly does this trigger work? Luckily, we have a bunch of judges here that can answer the question. But yeah, that's not something that comes up very often.
Oh, look, we're already in...
yeah, no land, I guess.
In Bossy's turn, and that is a Quantum Riddler already put on the stack. And now we're casting another Quantum Riddler.
All right, 700
are we just
mana floating?
casting the Quantum Riddlers? So like, essentially not Wait, I'm not sure.
So there is what? Each land makes 4 mana.
Yeah, 12. So
13 minus 2 Riddlers. So that's 3 mana. Yeah, the 2 Riddlers got cast, I believe.
Yep.
That's it's a pretty good turn 4. There is a Spider Manifestation as well. Not the most interactive of matchups. I mean, but that Archmage's Charm was, you know, very, very timely.
I think this might be game though, because I saw an Ice Explorer. That is too many triggers, and we have so much mana here. Ice Explorer is just gonna do the trick here. And yeah, Bossy is completely tapped out. This Hydra is gonna be what? 4, 8, 16, 32, 64.
Think that's gonna be enough?
Yeah, I think that will do the trick.
Wait, does it beat Bossy's damage output from the first game?
Yes. I think it with the Brizzly Bill now as well, you can stack the triggers to give counters then double. This is what the Mossborn Hydra does. It kills in these non-interactive green mirrors very effectively.
This is turn 5 though, right? That's not as impressive as a turn 3 60, you know, 7 damage or whatever that was.
Absolutely.
Do we have 60 more dice? Yeah, I don't think so. All right, I think looks like both players understand what's going on, how many times the Hydra is going to double its power. And yep, we have now the game tied. Do you think anything changes for game 3 based on Bossy being on the play?
Yeah, maybe you have a little bit more interaction when you, well, potentially if Verdier was on the play this game, chose to have a little bit less fight spells or anything like that. But on the draw, you should certainly do have those Maelstrom resolves, all 4 of them in the deck. I presume he has them on the play.
I'm wondering about Bossy's, you know, sideboard decisions. If we did it out.
Yeah. They have two Spider Sense to take out, so that can go. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, I would touch the Riddlers then after that.
I mean, it looked okay now, like you played them on turn 3 or turn 4, you know, got a lot of mana, but I'm looking for something more, you know, that can help me out, actually close the game, like an extra Behemoth or a fight spell or something that either interacts or makes mana. This just seems like an expensive creature that, yeah, doesn't really have that big of an impact on what we're trying to do.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It is kind of nice when you have that really fast draw, but you're missing sort of the payoff, and you can empty your hand quickly. But I wouldn't have it in high numbers here.
Yeah, it's a card that's made for long, you know, interactive games. Things are dying, you're emptying your hand. You want to find more gas, find more resources, but this is not what this matchup seems to be about. And looks like the game number 3 is underway, and just a tapped Multiversal Passage on turn 1. We have a Chocobo on Verdier's side.
Yeah, Verdier has to be happy to not see Lano Elf there. But I presume there's got to be a Badgermole Cup.
Okay, Spider Manifestation, yeah.
If you keep a hand without a 1-drop, you better have a Badgermole Cup.
Or like a turn 3 Ouroboros type of thing, but even that is not that impressive. And Cup on turn 2 for Verdier.
We might see a Floodmaw here on the land to set back Verdier by a lot. Also a Bushwhack in hand, which is kind of nice at killing this Chocobo right now. Yeah, this might be a lot more of an interactive game. With Bushwhack and Floodmaw here on the creatures, potentially. And in that game, Riddler actually is also kind of fine. Especially good with bounce spells, of course, that sort of are cheap and go out of your hand, empty your hand quickly.
Bossy in the tank. Is that a Disdainful Stroke? No.
I see a Floodmaw in the middle of the hand.
Okay.
A Multiversal
Passage.
A Nature's Rhythm, which is going to be used here for a cup, I presume. I don't know what to think about that. I really like casting Floodmaw there. but I can't quite make out the last card. Now Bossy can still cast a Bushwhack and kill off this Chocobo with the Spider Manifestation.
Man, the Spider Manifestation fits so well into the deck.
Yeah.
Like untapping after you play a Behemoth or this Nature's Ridden, just producing more mana thanks to the Badger Mole Cub. So, Badger Mole Cub hits the battlefield, that untaps the Manifestation. Nature's Ridden goes into the graveyard, and what do? We Earthbend on the nice, beautiful forest from Invasion. And what now? You like the Bushwhack on the Chocobo?
Yeah.
There it is. We're gonna fight your 1/2. Is there a Snakeskin Veil?
There's no mana. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, right, yeah, that doesn't make mana, okay.
Oh, it's just 2 lands for Bossy. Interesting.
It's 2 lands and the bounce spell?
Yes, 2 lands and a bounce spell. I feel like with that hand, I probably would have just bounced the forest to really slow down that year, because your next turn is just not going to be that impressive.
How much mana does Bossy have next turn? It's 2, 4, 5, 6. You can play a land that's 7, so you can harmonize from the graveyard, but can't quite.
Yeah, you can get Ouroboros.
You can get Ouroboros, but you can't. Yeah, I mean, that might just be too slow.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast clock. But
yeah.
Especially with the Floodmore now in hand as sort of insurance.
That's true. Yeah.
Probably alright to get the Ouroboros.
Earthbender Ascension is the play for Verdier.
And I guess maybe that's a reasonable way of doing things. I mean, bouncing the forest there and leaving Verdier with just 1 land in play is such a slowdown effect, which I really like. But I mean, I can see this line as well. The Ouroboros. You can protect it against the fight spell.
Yeah, there's 2 different lines you can take, right? Like either you use the bounce spell for sort of tempo early on, bounce a land, get ahead on tempo, but then you can just die to the combo, or you keep it in your hand. Your opponent's going to be able to develop a lot faster, but you're keeping, sort of an insurance policy for a big turn where your opponent might be able to combo you off.
Wow, that's a huge play here.
Meltstrider's Resolve. That's going to kill the Cup. And yeah, that's a huge play because that's going to take a lot of mana away from Bossy.
That was a great turn.
And pass the turn. Yeah, now Bossy seems to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, well, I guess we don't have to harmonize the Nature's Ridden because we're just going to draw the Ouroboros.
That was
naturally
most certainly one of the best draws Bossy could have hoped for. Can play the forest, tap the spider and the forest, the Earthbended Forest, leave up the Floodmore here, attack with the spider for free even. And yeah, I mean, it's not super impressive right now, but you know, Ouroboros goes bigger and bigger and bigger.
If you tap the forest and you leave the blue-green land untapped, are you worried that like you're kind of signaling that you have a bounce spell? Like, do you think next turn it matters? How likely do you think you can die next turn? It's still probably pretty good, right? Your opponent has 4 copies of Meltstrider's Resolves. Yeah, I guess that just makes more sense. Even though it's kind of telegraphed. Okay, I have it.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry, really. Yeah, and one of the funny things is when I tested the landfall deck, what can happen sometimes is you draw multiple Ice Till Explorers, for example, and you don't draw a fetch land.
Yeah.
And then you are playing, what's it called, Giant Orcs or something? 4-2-4?
Giant Spider.
Giant Spider without reach, which is really awkward. And actually that is kind of the case right now for Verdier. He does have 2 Ice Tilts in hand. Is he gonna able to draw a fetch land?
Giant Spider. I think the card was called like Pillar something Orcs.
Yeah.
It was in like Zendikar Limited.
Yeah, exactly. I see a Llanowar Elf. What is this? Another Ascension? Oh, that is Ice Till, I suppose. 4 mana tapped. Yup.
Yeah, that is going to resolve. We found an actual 2/4 Ox. Yeah, so no fetch land though, no land even. So he just passes the turn. So yeah, this Ouroboros might just do the work. And yeah, the bigger the creatures are, we might even get into a behemoth territory quickly here.
We have an interesting situation here. So Bossy knows no lands on the other side, obviously. If there would be a fetch land found, that would be big trouble for Bossy. So attacking into that earthbended land on the other side might result in milling over a fetch land. I suppose if the fetch land is on top of the library, Verdier would draw it anyways. But you could just wait and sort of make your creatures bigger and bigger and then do one big attack. It's an interesting spot.
How far away from harmonizing the Nature's Rhythm?
Oh, right, I totally forgot about that.
Is Bossy, because he does have the Ouroboros, and as we saw in game 1, like that plus Behemoth, that's a pretty good combo. You don't really need that many creatures, so yeah, I'm looking at that Nature's Rhythm in the graveyard, wondering how far are we away from being able to put Behemoth into play. And I think he's doing the math. Yeah, he's doing the math right now.
Well, he's a little away from that right now, because he just has 6 mana plus the Harmonize, so 2, so he can get a 6-drop, I believe. 6 plus 2. No, he can. He can just get a. He has to pay 4 green, and then he can reduce it by 2, so he could just get a 4-drop. So you can get another Ouroboros, untap the Spider.
Well, it reduces by
power. Like post-combat, post-combat now he could get a bigger creature.
Yeah, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the Behemoth, so maybe like wait for next year, and then you have... Yeah, you still need 8 mana. I guess that doesn't work with what he has.
Could get something like a Quantum Riddler, theoretically. That draws 2 cards, puts a big flyer into play.
I completely forgot that Bossy can also just attack. Yeah, these cards are so big that we don't need to wait for Behemoth. I can just swing in for a bunch of damage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But leaving themselves open maybe to a backswing here, although with the Floodmaw is pretty protected. The thing again with the chump blocker, Verdier might just be happy to chump there.
Yeah, to get the landfall trigger.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is what? This is 4, 8, this is 13 damage coming in. And it's only gonna get worse next turn. So looks like we're gonna chump the Manifestation, soak up 5, get a landfall trigger. Yeah, announces a block. That works. You take 8, go down to 12. And yeah, the land comes back thanks to the Earthbend ability, and that is now going to trigger landfall twice. We mill a Chocobo. That would indeed also not be a great draw.
All right, big draw step here.
Verdier is keeping his cards too far away from the table, so we can't quite see what he's working with. Lano or Elf? Yeah, not exactly what he was looking for. There's another Explorer. Bristly Bill. But can we make additional land drops? No, he just passes the turn. That's awkward.
Yeah, the landfall deck does need lands. Now harmonizing. We play the land untapped. That gives us 5 plus the Spider 6, 7. We tap the 6-10. Yeah, no, not quite enough to get Kratos and win. But next turn, like, we could just chill here, and then next turn we can definitely go for an insanely big Kratos. So we kind of have a guaranteed kill next turn. Oh, that's Feral and counter. a very underplayed magic card in standard. Look at the top 5. You may exile a creature from among them, put the rest on the bottom of your library, and then you may cast the exiled card this turn. And additionally, separated from that, at the beginning of the next combat phase, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power, so it's a bite. So, yeah, quite a cool card. I'm finding a Lano Elf, maybe not that impressive, but hey, it's a 5/5 here with the Ouroboros, no 4/4. But yeah, we can kill that Pillarfield Orcs, I suppose.
What are we going after with the fight?
That's interesting. I probably just the Pillarfield Orcs. It's like if the fetch land is drawn, that card is a little too scary.
Yeah.
Are we gonna shuffle the bottom 4? Just you gotta make sure. The game might come down to that, you know.
Both players are smiling about that too. I mean, yeah, that's what the rules say, right? It's not gonna matter, but yeah, I mean, 1 mana 5/5, not too bad. And Bossy still has that bounce spell available. Yep, we're gonna put some extra counters on everything.
That's one too many. Oh no, that's not one too many, right? The Ouroboros is 4. I was correct all along. 4 power. Yeah, that's quite a card from Edge of Eternities.
Have you played against that card in Limited?
Yeah, I've played at my pre-release. I had it in my deck in Limited. I went 5-0 in that pre-release. I was like, this card's pretty good.
Yeah. Let me just put creatures in my deck, and yeah.
So don't forget at the beginning of combat trigger to fight away the Pillarfield Orcs. And yeah, we can force some chump blocking. I don't think the life totals are correct, by the way. We should have Verdier at around 12 because there was a pretty big attack. Well, yeah, 12 should be correct.
But by the way, looking at the time on top, has this really been 40 minutes? We played a 3-turn game 1. We played a 5-turn game 2. And well, yeah, this game is taking a longer time compared to the first 2, but it is wild if this has been 40 minutes.
Yeah, time flies just so quickly when you're around me, right? It's just so easy to hang out with me.
We thought this was gonna be a quick match. Well, 45 minutes later.
All right. Well, things could get interesting. Maybe if there's a Snakeskin Veil involved here for the Floodmaw.
How does the game look where Verdier wins? What needs to happen?
Oh, maybe something like this, where Bossy uses the Floodmaw aggressive. Oh no, it's just a tap land, sorry. Yep, Bossy is playing patient, keeping the Floodmaw. I mean, how does Verdier win? Ice Till, but it's just not enough. Like, there's no Mossburn Hydra type thing.
Exactly.
Bossy just has a million toughness on the other side.
Yes, it seems like Verdier is too many important pieces away from even hoping to.
I know how he would have won the game, actually.
Okay.
Escape Tunnel.
Oh,
draws Escape Tunnel, gives the Bristly Bill unblockable, and then pumps up the Bristly Bill to something very, very high.
There's an Ice Till Explorer number 2, and we do actually have...
Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me.
We do actually have a land.
But the last card in hand is an Ice Till Explorer. It's not a Snakeskin Veil, so...
Wow.
So the Floodmaw is gonna seal the deal. We know it. Verdier might have just gotten really excited.
Yeah.
Because...
And Bossy's patience, not using the Into the Floodmaw early on, looks like it's gonna pay off.
What are we doing here? We're putting counters on the Badger? I think what you're supposed to do is, with all the triggers on the stack, the first thing you do is you just sack the Escape Tunnel to give unblockable to the Bristly Bill. Then you put the counters from Bristly Bill, from Earthbender's Ascension on the Bristly Bill, then you replay the Escape Tunnel, and you get a bunch more counters. But I guess it would just add up to 8 damage in total, huh? So I'm not sure what's the plan here. Just make a big Badger and attack. Force a jump block somehow. It's just not gonna get big enough. It's a... Oh, it can only be blocked by 1 creature? Is that the idea here?
Does it have Trample or something? Not really.
Yeah, it has Trample.
It has Trample.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, it does because of the Earthbender Ascension. So... It does have trample. It is a 10 power right now. So with the escape tunnel, it can be a 12 power. And if the life totals are correct, Bossy is at 9. So, but Bossy can just put the Earth Bandit Forest in front of it, and then just take a 4 trample.
Exactly. Plus, yeah, don't forget Boss is still holding it into the Flood Maw.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. The Flood Maw. I keep forgetting. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just like trying to figure out how Vidier can do it here. But yeah, the Flood Maw seals the deal.
Wow, and he just has to pass the turn. So back to Bossy. And yeah, is this gonna be a turn where we finally find the Behemoth, or just a way to attack for lethal?
Yeah, just tap the Spider. Yup. And that actually is Behemoth untapping the Spider. This is just a bazillion damage again.
All right, here's the Harmonize ability on Nature's Ridden. The Spider Manifestation is going to untap. And if there is Behemoth in the deck, which I believe there will be, we are going to... Yeah, exactly. Wow, congratulations to Gaetan Bossy. Well played. Kind of a crazy match. Not a lot of interaction. I can't believe this took 45 minutes. But yeah, if you want to play a deck that does a lot of crazy things, one of these green decks is certainly a good choice if you want to attack for 50, 60 damage. This was probably a lot over 100. But that win on turn 3, that was crazy. That was wild.
Yeah.
This is the power of Badger Mole Cub.
Yeah, the Simic deck is quite the menace, and no wonder we see 3 of them in the top 8. Now 2 in the semifinals already confirmed, I suppose. But yeah, we have a backup feature waiting for us. Willie Edel, Hall of Famer, against Lukas Chuklovsky, who was our table 1, seed 1 in the standings for a long time in the tournament.
Yeah, this is the table with the 2 heavyweights in the top 8. Willie obviously in the Hall of Fame. We were actually discussing like, hey, when was the first time Willie top 8'd a Grand Prix? And we found out that he top 8'd 3 Pro Tours before he actually top 8'd a Grand Prix. He didn't really bother with Grand Prix. He was just too busy doing well at Pro Tours in, I believe that was 2006, which eventually led him to the Hall of Fame. He also made top 8 at Worlds, I think, last year or maybe this year. It wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
Lukas also made top 8 at Worlds, and that was the World Championship in Chiba, where he played that blue-black deck. Jace the Mind Sculptor was legal, and like Grave Titan. I don't remember the format, but it was like the Callblade format after some of the cards got banned, I think.
Damnation.
Yeah. So Lukas, is it lessons? This list is not the most stock list you can find everywhere. What's the difference here from what you can normally see people play?
No Storm Chaser's talents, a little bit less on the Boomerang basics, not abusing that combination. Reason being, not that great into the green matchups, not that great into the mirror match, and that's a big part of the meta game, and it certainly did work out for Lukas here this weekend. Instead of those, he's able to run some more Iris Demonstration, a second Quench, a couple Spell Pierces, and a Burst Lightning as well for 1 mana removal in the main deck here to sort of round out his deck. Spell Pierce, a bit of an awkward card, but you have so much looting.
Exactly, yeah.
It's sort of very easy to include here, and when Spell Pierce is good, it is really good, so I kind of like that inclusion.
Yeah, playing all that rummaging and looting effects that allows you to play a couple situational cards because you can always trade them for something else. Willie Edel was waving the aggro flag, the Boros aggro flag. What is he working with at this tournament?
He's representing the red aggro players here in our top 8 with the Boros list. Yeah, Lightning Helix, Boros Charm, great additions, worthy of splashing for. And then we have the survivors of all of the ban menace in summer and in late autumn. Here, the red creatures that are left, plus the Nova Hellkite, the recent addition from Edge of Eternities.
There is one difference you pointed out earlier in Willie's deck from the other Boros versions.
Yeah, usually this deck, popularized by Max McVitie, also famous for playing mono-red aggro decks, ran 4 copies of Full Board to combine with the Slick Shot. Willie chose instead to run 4 copies of Shock to have more interaction, to be better on the draw, to kill stuff like Grand right here. If that would be a 4-ball in his hand, couldn't have gotten rid of the Grand, which could have decided the game already.
So we're joining in game 2. Willie won game number 1 with his Boris deck, despite Lucas going first. And now Lucas is on the play with a turn 2 Artist Talent. So, wow. Whoa. I did not expect that.
Yeah, I love that smile from the players.
I think everybody got amused by that play. Lucas is also thinking, what is this? Turn 2 Boros Charm phase go?
Yeah, that's great.
That is very unusual.
Well, one thing you can do against sort of the Artist Talent Lesson deck is you can choose to not play creatures, because a lot of their cards, they want to be cast, a lot of their burn spells want to be cast to filter through their deck. And if you just don't play any creatures, and instead just burn their face with some burn spells, they can't, like, maybe they get stuck on the Artist Talent.
Or if they're sitting on reactive cards, like it'll quench you. By playing it on your turn, you don't give them the possibility of doing that. There's a second Artist Talent. I wonder what Willie's keep is, because I mean, I want to play a creature in the first couple of turns, and if my plan is to cast turn 2 Boros Charm, I'm not too happy with that. Turn 3 Hellkite, okay, that attacks for 5.
3 down to 10 life already.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this burn plan is working.
Yeah.
See a couple of burns. So there's a Lightning Helix. There's a Shock. I think there's another Boros Charm. Is he gonna just burn Lucas out? Yeah, I mean, Lucas does have a lot of removal spells. So yeah, if Willie is on the burn spell, it might just work out.
He does have an Essence Scatter in hand, so he can at least deal with that Hellkite down the line, but he doesn't need to worry about it right now, I suppose. But yeah, just discarding 3 removal spells here. I mean, the power of Artist Talent, the card that are awkward, made awkward by Willie Edel's game plan, you could still just loot him away.
Yeah, and Willie is no stranger to aggressive decks. I mean, he's definitely the one who's going to recognize when the correct line is just to go, burn your face on turn 2 into a Hellkite, which is a very unconventional line. Also, Lucas showed his prowess with the blue-red deck this weekend. Like that one game against, or one match against, was Jeskai Control. That was just a masterclass in how to play the deck, how to play around the cards your opponent has. So good stuff from both players this weekend.
I think Willie just picked up a Nova Hellkite. But that one doesn't look that great into 2 open mana, as that combustion technique is looming with so many lessons already in the bin. So Willie just decides to pass with, I think, a grip of multiple 2 damage spells and a Lightning Helix.
Accumulate Wisdom, trigger. Yeah, there is indeed enough lessons. But looks like he's choosing not to use the Talons, just drawing 3 cards. And yep, Willie's gonna use that window.
Oh,
burn you for 3, burn
5.
you for 2, thank you very much. And now you can play. Yeah, we're a Hellkite attack plus 1 more damage away from winning the game.
And I saw a Burst Lightning, so if a land is drawn, Burst Lightning turns into deal 4.
Oh yeah, the village is awkward here. Can't actually play the Burst Lightning.
Sure, but you might actually want to keep it, right? Because you want to deal 4 maybe with it.
Well, if you're drawing land number 5, then you can just attack with the Hellkite. So
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want to go for lethal there? Yeah, that's fair.
Did you say he drew a Hellkite for the turn as well?
I think so. That actually is also lethal.
Yeah.
Just a shock, right? I'm not exactly sure, but it looked like a Hellkite.
Lucas is using another Accumulated Wisdom. So yeah, he's got a lot of cards. What he doesn't have is Monument to Entrance.
I think Lucas is maybe trying to break a record of how many cards of Magic someone can draw in a single tournament. I think he might have actually already broken it. I feel like if I'm going to go to sleep tonight, I'm just going to see pictures of Lucas just drawing 3
cards,
starting and drawing again. It's just my brain is just going to be full of that, because that's what we've been doing here, watching Lucas draw cards all day, yesterday and today.
All right, so does Willie have the kill here? He does find land number 5. How does Warp work with Essence Scatter?
You can just counter the creature.
Just counter
still
it?
a creature, yeah.
Okay.
passing the turn here with that burst lightning at the ready. But yeah, Lucas crucially at 5, not at 4. It's a pretty big difference. By the way, I can already let you guys know, one of the quarterfinals has concluded. Simon Nielsen versus Gugema Lupi went in favor of the Proto Champion.
Wow.
Simon into the semifinals, facing off against Gaetan Bossi on the other side. So it's another
yeah.
Yep.
Another goldfish mirror in the semis. Is that a third accumulated wisdom? It is. And yeah, that's going to earn...
Lucas gives the thumbs up. Yep, I got a 1. I love how calm Lucas is. Just absolutely just chewing on the chewing gum and just chilling. Yeah, I got a 1, it's fine.
Lucas is demonstrating how in Magic you can use your life total as a resource. Like, it doesn't matter if you're at 1 or 19. Only the last point of damage is the one that actually matters. So if he's now able to stop Willie from dealing the last point of damage, then it's the same as if he was at 20. So yeah, but the question is, I mean, now Willie has a bunch of 1-mana cards that deal 2 damage, and I don't think Lucas has enough counters in his deck.
I just saw
that.
Saw Lucas picking up a negate, so that's...
Oh, okay, negate's a great start. Yeah, he does have a lot of cards that say pay 2 more, which is not going to be a problem for Willie with 5 lands in play.
Yeah.
What a game. Like, I would not have expected the game to go this way. And perhaps Willie even boarded out some of his creatures and just kind of went for the burn plan.
Perhaps, yeah.
Because Lucas doesn't have the extra talents. He doesn't have the blue talent, so Willie doesn't need all these shocks. Like, if I'm sideboarding, I'm probably thinking, okay, well, you only have Gran. Sure, I want to have some answers to that, but I don't need to have, 8 or 9 shocks in my deck. And looks like he might have just figured out, okay, well, my best course of action here is to just go lighter on creatures, but keep the burn spells, and you're going to have a bunch of dead cards in your hand.
Yeah, I'd love that to be true. It's just the type of text, the type of cycle plans where you get the edge, and a great player like Willie
thinking outside the box.
Yes, exactly. Just checking Willie's player profile. He wrote a lot of stuff down. Why did you choose this deck this weekend? I like the play pattern of this deck, and I was playing red aggro for a while since I would need to borrow cards with Portuguese friends. None of them play red, so they were available, and I wouldn't have much time to test the weeks prior. I stuck with this old favorite, and yeah,
okay.
There you go.
So I think I saw 2 negates actually in Lucas's hand.
Yeah,
there's 2 negates. So he does have the 2 actual heart counters. And wow, Willie picked up the Dragonfire. So yeah, now if he does indeed have either a Hellkite or a land in hand, this is going to be lethal because Lucas needs to counter this. He needs to fire off that negate. Yeah, otherwise he's going to die. Oh wait, he has the talent is leveled up, so he can cast both of the counters this turn.
He chooses not to discard his 6 cards in hand.
Warps the Hellkite.
Yeah, now you can just combustion technique.
Scatter. Or yeah, combustion technique. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, there's way more than enough lessons in the graveyard.
This is
wow,
really cool. I mean, now Willie is down to 0 cards, and Lucas has that negate. Picked up a Gran. Honestly,
is he gonna turn this around?
I think he might. Yeah.
How much is the harmonize on the Dragonfire? 7. So even if Willie draws like lands in the next couple of turns, he can play the Hellkite. That's gonna probably earn a removal spell or the scatter. And the next turn he would be able to flash back to harmonize the Dragonfire. So he does have plays available for the next couple of turns, and he's just 1 point away. But now there's a monument for Lucas, and yeah, that is gonna start doing some work. So we're gonna get some extra resources, extra cards, extra treasures. And at some point, we're going to start bolting your face.
Yeah. Drawing 3 more cards is again the 4th Ancestral Recall resolved this game. Again, like Lucas likes drawing cards. That is very clear.
And both players know each other from a long time on the pro scene. Lucas is kind of currently just getting back into Magic. He started playing a lot more again, and he already qualified himself for the last World Championship through Magic Online. Now he's picking up a qualification for Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven. Willie also was pretty happy about picking up the invite as well. He does have a Hall of Fame invite in addition to that, but it's always nice to have one extra one. In the meantime, Lucas finds a second monument to entrance, and now with the 2 counters in hand and nothing in Willie's hand, I think he might just be turning the corner, which is honestly kind of insane. It didn't look like that at all. Well, I guess this is what drawing 9 extra cards or 12 extra cards is going to do, but yeah, for a long time this looked like this was Willie's game, but Lucas was able to stockpile just enough counters to turn the corner. I think this might also be kind of a record for maybe the most triggers in one tournament. If you're playing Artist Talent and Monuments, there is a lot of triggers going on. I think they're trying to figure out where exactly they are with the stag having a ton of triggers.
It's just going through the motions here. Yeah, I mean, with Negate and Essence Scatter and another technique in hand, infinite cards.
Yeah, everything costing 1 less. Like, he's looking really, really good right now. Is there anything that's uncounterable for Willie? Like, is there a way he can... Like, some land that deals damage? Not really.
Land that deals 1. There's 1 in existence. There's actually 10 of them legal from Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Oh, the ping lands, yeah.
Yes, that would be incredible. But yeah, there's a Hellkite, which just dies to a combustion technique here. And that's already a game over the course of 2 turns here. We can just discard cards, deal 6.
I think Willie's going to be dead in his next upkeep.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 from the monuments. Then Lucas can just play something on his own turn, trigger the monuments twice again for 6 more damage. And before Willie draws for his next turn, Lucas can end it with another spell in his upkeep. So wow, this was quite a game. Yeah. Lucas was involved in some really, insane games this tournament so far.
Yeah.
I really do want to know how Willie sideboarded. If this just kind of happened randomly, like he just drew the portion of his deck that had 6 burn spells in a row, if he did indeed maybe on the draw go for a burn spell plan, just board out some creatures, or if we're just talking nonsense and his deck is actually the same, he just randomly happened to draw some burn spells. What a game! Yeah, 1-1. Lucas picks up game number 2. And yeah, this was quite something. Yeah, once again, your life total is a resource. You don't really care about the first 19. You only care about the last one. And as long as you're able to protect it, well, that's good enough.
Yeah, we see a lot of good sideboard cards here also. The 2 flash freezes, the negates came in.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas, I mean, heads up play to bring in the negates, honestly. I think that's not an obvious line to do against the creature-heavy red deck, but they looked crucial here.
I think he might have expected Willie to also bring in the Legend of Roku and like some of the cards that are for these like grindy matchups.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, let's take a look at Willie's sideboard as well. What is he working with?
Well, 3 copies of Soga and Lantern could come in. A lot of decks are siding that in against Lessons, but out of Mono Red, I'm not so sure you want to spend a card on that. The Mage Bane Lizard is certainly coming in. And then, as you said, maybe the Legend of Roku as an additional card advantage source. I would think that Get Lost stays in the sideboard. I don't think that's the angle you want to attack them on. And Sunspan Links is not that great against a deck with 8 basic lands.
Yeah, I wonder how possible it is that he just boarded in those 9 cards. And yeah, looking at this, he boards out like some of the 1-drops, keeps maybe like a Challenger and a Slick Shot that you can plot and kind of wait for the best moment to attack out of nowhere when your opponent taps out, or not really out of nowhere, out of the plot zone.
Yeah, I agree. Slick Shot seems really, really nice into Lessons, as you can just like plot them away, and then they have to respect it. They can't really tap out that freely, and yeah.
Mage Bane Lizard. Yeah, this is one of the best sideboard cards you can have against a deck that's playing a ton of spells, but Lucas is ready with the demonstration.
Yeah, he's got the perfect answer here on turn 2. at the ready.
Shock myself. Is this going to be a Nova Hellkite? I see a Hired Claw in hand. All right, Emberheart Challenger, Hired Claw, attack, go down to 17.
So yeah, there's a couple creatures left in the deck. We can.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just a bit of a weird draw for Willie.
The reason why I was thinking that he might have gone for the burn plan was that, like, Dragonfire of all cards, that's the worst of the burn spells, right? It's sorcery speed. You already have 8 instant speed chalk, so you do have a lot of answers for the Grand. It could have been a play draw thing. Maybe on the draw he wanted to have one more shock effect for the Grand because he's on the draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am definitely gonna go and ask him after the match because I'm super curious.
Willie, only 2 cards left in hand, so mulligan to 6 here on the play. And Lucas is in the tank.
He does have a 3rd land. There's a monument. There's a couple of red burn spells. I think he has Firebending Lesson and
a combustion technique.
A combustion technique, yeah.
Monument. I mean, I think probably what he's thinking about is, can he afford to play monument here, or does he have to kill off a creature?
Yeah, like you give up a lot of tempo if you just tap out for the monument here.
Yeah, I like playing it safe here and killing the Emberheart.
So, Willie just down to a Hired Claw. There's a Shock, there's a Magebane Lizard. I can't quite make the 3rd card. Attack for 1 and 1 ping.
I think it's another Emberheart Challenger.
Goes for the Magebane Lizard. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Like, Lucas already used 2 cards that are able to kill an X4. So he's going to have a lot of shock effects left. He clearly didn't have a shock to kill the Hired Claw.
Yeah, Lucas can now abandon attachments. Oh, he could just, yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, he already, sorry, I thought he doesn't, yeah, this is great for Lucas actually. Trading off 1-for-1 removal with just taking 1 damage against the Lizard. And he does have a Flash Freeze in his hand. So this is looking to play out really nicely for Lucas. I think he just fired off, yes. Go down to 12, but yeah, Willie is down to 2 cards.
This game would have been so different if Willie had a 1-drop.
Yeah.
Like, it somehow just lined up that Lucas is able to use all use all the 2-mana cards to trade 2 for 2. There's the monument. So the shields are down for the time being. Can Willie capitalize on that?
Willie does not activate the Hired Claw, so... Oh no, he does. Now it's time. Take 3. Play land.
Wow, and just passes the turn. That Lucas has to feel pretty happy about that. He even picks up another copy of Flash Freeze.
Yeah, now he can use that to discard the Spire Bluff and draw 3 cards.
And so it begins. Play the attachment, discard a card, trigger the monument, and he is going to draw another card, so he does value the resources over going more aggressive.
Oh, this is an interesting turn, actually. Lucas could play Grand, but then Willie will maybe end of turn shock. No, Willie just untaps, okay. And then Lucas doesn't have one of the counter spells up anymore. So there maybe a little hastily played that Grand there.
Well, isn't there enough lessons in the graveyard?
Yeah, there is, but sort of like if you shock here, then Lucas is clearly priced into responding.
Fighting over that. If
he leaves up the mana instead, he can counter whatever Nova Hellkite or creature comes at him.
Well, he starts with an untapped Sacred Foundry, and he's going to just attack. So, yeah, we might see the Hired Claw getting pumped a little bit more, or is he just passing the turn?
No, he's just attacking. Lucas is thinking about blocking, I think. And, you just can't block the situation.
Yeah.
You need the Grand. So Lucas is going to go down to 5 here from the Hired Claw.
Willie buffs the Hired Claw one more time. Lucas gives him the thumbs up. What does Willie have? There's a shock and 1 more card. And he did shock himself.
Yeah, so maybe he has a 2-mana burn spell, right? That makes sense. Why he would shock. All right, Grand attacks. Loot away that Spirebluff Canal. Trigger the monument, draw another card.
Yeah, Lucas just needs to find a way to deal with the Hard Claw. But with that Flash Freeze and Negate, he's got to feel pretty good about his chances, considering Willie only has 2 cards left. So as long as he finds a removal spell, he should be able to turn the corner again. But I don't think he has it, though. He has the talent, and I think there's another blue card.
Yeah, but
Looks like another Grand, actually.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have an answer right now, so he kind of has to look for it. But I think it's better to not just chump block.
Wow, okay, and Willie recognizes that he doesn't want to let that Artist Talent resolve. So with that on the stack, he's going to respond with Shock on the Grand. That earns a negate from Lucas, who really does value the Grand. And Willie responds with another burn spell on Grand.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Lucas pretty much has to fight over this, right? Like, he's just going to die to the attack. A lot of options.
Yeah, I mean,
Can he afford not to counter this?
he could chump block for a turn with the Grand, I guess. Well, no, well, he has to.
Yeah,
He has to.
exactly. Yeah,
There's no choice.
He can only do that if he fights over that with Flash Freeze.
What a question, do you attack or not with the Grand? Do you attack, draw 2, and hope to find an answer to the Higher Claw? You know what's funny? I just looked real quick at Willie Edel's player survey, and he said the best card for him this weekend was Higher Claw. It's looking pretty good right now. A 1-mana 3/4, attacking for 5 damage.
It is the best 1-drop the deck has, I think.
Yes, absolutely. It's Heartfire Hero.
And like, these aggressive decks are always about the 1-drops. Like, the quality of the 1-drops usually, you know, dictates the quality of the deck, unless you have some combo-y stuff going on, like the Manifold Mouse plus what's the name of the pump spell? Monster's Rage.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is just more looks in the end. I think I like the attack.
Yeah, this is the type of play that you can choose either not to lose by chumping with the Grand, or you can go for the play where I'm going to play to win. I think there's more outs for me if I attack. I try to find more spells, maybe trigger the talent and the monument more times, find a removal spell, maybe find another creature that can chump block. Did he find anything, though? No, there's just a firebending lesson.
Yeah, this is now down to the wire. We can firebending lesson to discard the... interesting. I'm a little... Well, okay. What is going on here? Could we have firebending lessons to then make a treasure, loot away the Quagna, and find another 1-mana burn spell? I thought that was going to happen. Okay.
Wow. Okay, well, congratulations to Willie Edel, who is piloting his Boros aggro deck to the semifinals of Spotlight Avatar here in Lyon. So, who do we have in the semis? Again, you said Simon already booked his seat by winning the quarters. Then we had Gaetan Bossi winning quarterfinals number 1. Now we have Willie Edel as winner number 3. And what was the 4th match? It was the
Lorenzo Gruppi. The Is It Lessons mirror got taken down by Lorenzo Gruppi, who we saw also earlier in the feature match playing as Simon Nielsen. So we're going to have Is It Lessons again against Willie Edel here in the semifinals. On the other side of the bracket, we're going to have the Simic Oroboid mirror Simon Nielsen against Gaetan Bossi. And it sounds like we have Willie Edel with an interview with Carl. Let's head over there.
Willie Edel, showing everyone why you're a Hall of Famer. Congratulations for making it to the top 4.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like, it was a very tough game. I didn't think I would win this one. He was starting to draw a lot of cards. Like, I only have the lizard going on, and he went all the way. So.
Yeah, it was a really stressful match for me to watch as well. It must be really a lot worse for you to play. Well, now you are at least securing 2,500 as well as your Pro Tour invite. Now, for those of you who weren't tuning in and who just tuned in for the top 8, this is Willie Edel. If you don't know him, he's a Magic Hall of Famer. You should study up. But you don't live in Europe. You came all the way from Brazil on vacation to Portugal with your family, and he saw that there was an event in Lyon, a Spotlight Series, decided to show up, and look at you in the top, making it to the top 4 already.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Like that, I almost didn't pay for the whole trip. Like I know, like a wife and 2 kids, it's kind of an expensive trip to Europe.
Yeah, maybe if you come first place, you can bring them to Disneyland.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I came first place, I promise you, kids.
If they're watching
to Euro Disney, they'll probably watch. Like my wife is always watching, so. Okay, that's a promise. Like, if I win the whole thing, you can just go to Euro Disney like next week.
I'll keep them in on that. I'll keep them. They'll keep you on that word. Now, for those of you who didn't watch the interviews we've done before, because just so you know, he keeps on winning. So I keep on having him in this chair. It's starting to be shaped like him. But your deck choice, if you could just tell us very quickly about your deck choice and the matchups you were kind of aiming for when you made this selection for a very specific build of mono red, because you're not only playing red.
Yeah, I was playing red like for the whole season, like the last 6 months. I only play like mono red decks. I really like it. I finished 9th in Spotlight Orlando like a couple months back. But since like Screaming Enemies was banned, I think the deck was kind of lacking. And since Lessons show up, Lessons kind of plays up on mono red, plays a lot of creatures. Like the old build with like the 2/2s that punish when people draw cards and this kind of stuff. I don't think that works anymore. They have so many removals. So I choose to rely on burn. So I'm playing like Lightning Helix, Boros Charm, while you still have like some creatures to curve out and finish with the burn. So I think the deck is kind of, if you see the power of the deck, it's not on par with Semic, with Landfall, or Lessons, of course. But like the deck kind of plays in a, I mean, like these decks are kind of aiming each other, and they start to disrespect like mono red aggressive decks. So you kind of feel this guy like you kind of go like under the under the radar. They don't have like a lot of hate anymore. So when I play, for example, against Lessons, usually they have like a million removals on the sideboard and don't have like a lot of hard counters. So I can just burn them out because they don't have anything to do. Lucas has like a very good list with a lot of counters, which is much harder for me. But I think like in general, if people keep disrespecting red decks, I think Boros Burn or Boros Prowess, whatever you want to call it, has a good matchup against Lessons and has a fair matchup against green decks. It's kind of dire roll thing, but I think it has a fair matchup. So when you have like 2 big decks, one is a good matchup, the other one is like a fair, I think it's a good choice.
Yeah, it's well positioned. And just finally, if I can have your ear for one more question while we still have you here before going to the semifinals where you will be playing. So clearly, you're very good at Magic. You're a Hall of Famer. You went to the Spotlight in Richmond, you came 9th.
No, Orlando.
Orlando, you came 9th. Here you're in the top 8. If someone's watching this and they're like, I want to come to Spotlight Series, I want to do well. If you can remember back to Willie of the early days, what tip would you give them if they're coming to this tournament, maybe regarding deck selection or maybe regarding like how their mentality or how they should test? If you have one piece of advice.
I think my biggest piece of advice is to have fun playing. I think like it's kind of common sense to say this, but in my case, it's totally true. Like I only play decks that I have fun. For example, I'm totally aware that Lessons and Simic are much better decks than Mono Red, but I tried these decks and I wasn't having fun. So when you're playing a deck, you don't have fun with it, and you lose the first game, or you are kind of money screwed or something, you don't want to play anymore the whole day. And like Spotlights and Pro Tours are long events. So I want to keep having fun. If like I'm losing, like I play in the deck I like, and as soon as you find a good deck or maybe like a tier 2 deck that you have fun, just practice a lot. So you kind of squeeze all your chains. You can squeeze, for example, if you play aggressive decks, every single point of damage. And if you have a lot of reps of the deck, you kind of find these situations where nobody else can find these kind of points. And if you practice a lot, you can. And you have like a lot of like good tools to practice. Even if you don't have a team, you have Magic Online, you have Arena. So my advice is like keep testing, keep playing, and most of all, have fun.
Yeah, so you heard it here first, from the words from the mouth of a Hall of Famer. The key to success is to have a good time while playing Magic, and then the skill will come with the reps, and you'll find the corner cases. Thank you very much. Good luck in your semifinals game. I'm rooting for you, because you are in my caster list.
And Simon too, right?
Simon and you. If you face off, I won't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pass out from the stress. Now, thank you very much. Good luck. We'll see you in the next round in the semifinals. I'm excited. Let's send it back to the casters.
I'm ready to play now. Put me in the game now. I'm ready to do it. I ain't afraid now.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Spotlight Series Avatar The Last Airbender in Lyon. I'm Filipa, joined by the one and only Andrea Mengucci, and we are ready for the semi-finals of this event. Over 700 players joined yesterday, only 4 left, and they already qualified for the Pro Tour. Secrets of Strixhaven in Las Vegas in May, so a lot of exciting stuff and well-known names of the public. Let's take a look here at our bracket to see how things are looking after these top 8. So, looks like we have Simon Nielsen advancing with Simic Uruburoid, defeating another Simic Uruburoid, and now doesn't stop with the mirrors, with Gaetan Bossi playing also Simic Uruburoid, beating Gaetan Verdier on Mono Green Landfall. On the other side of the bracket, we have Willie Edel with Boros Agro that beat Lucas Jaklowski. And now we have it against Lorenzo Gruppi, Izat Lessons, that defeated Timothy in the mirror match. So 4 left. Wow. What do you think of these players, Andrea?
Yeah, I love it. We have 2 world-class players in the top 4, of course, Simon Nielsen and Willie Edel, and 2 young and upcoming players, Lorenzo Gruppi and Gaetan Bossi over there, 4 different countries, multiple continents, thanks to Willie Edel making this tournament, outside of, having players from outside of Europe as well. This mirror match is... So earlier we watched Gaetan beating the other Gaetan in the Gaetan mirror match, Uruburoid beating Landfall, but now this is a true mirror match. Like before it was just a forest mirror match, this is an actual not 75 cards mirror match. Gaetan has a bunch of interaction in his main deck. He has 2 Spider Sense, 1 Archmage's Charm, 2 Feral Encounter and Bushwhack. I guess for Encounter, not but mostly Bushwhack, so yes, but this is Simon Nielsen instead, who has a little bit less interactions. Yes, you have Marang River region to bounce some things, you have Bounce Off to bounce some things, but I really liked the Archmage's Charm technology by Gaetan there.
Love to see it, and we have here our top 8 players survey where they answer questions from the public while we see there Simon Nielsen having to mull. So Simon Nielsen, you know, that is a well-known name of the public, been here over and over in the booth. And once again, we have the list now here from Gaetan Bossi with these changes that you already mentioned.
Yeah, so a card I want to mention is Feral Encounter, a card that we don't often see. It's a sorcery that lets you look at the top 5 and then be able to, play an extra card there. And that is a nice way to just be able to have more looks at Uruburoid or Badger Mocap, giving a little bit more consistency in the exchange of extra mana, though.
And players looking at their opening ends, considering if they are good enough.
Yeah,
And let's see here.
Seems like Simon kept. It seems like we are underway. Simon only has 5 cards, whereas on the other side we see a full grip. Although 4 copies of Quantum Riddler will let you rebuild quite quickly here. So yes, Simon mulliganed. That's unfortunate, but that deck definitely has the tools to come back. So it's much more important to have a Llanowar Elf.
Starting with the Mana Dork, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty strong hand again. Not that many interactions, so just being able to. The funny thing is that even if you don't have a Mana Dork here, Gaitan could have just gone Mockingbird, copy your Llanowar Elf.
Gene Pollinator versus Llanowar Elves. Which one is the best Mana Dork?
It's pretty easy. It is indeed the Llanowar Elf, the original Mana Dork from the very first set of Magic.
You're not a fan of robots, but we have Mockingbird there making another... just not copying anything, actually.
No, I copied Llanowar Elf.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, because this way, the Herboroid is going to be able to... Ooh, we could also bounce off. The Gene Pollinator chose not to. Bounce off. Let's wonder why did Simon play this card over into the Floodmaw. Bounce off is, of course, an instant that return target creature or vehicle to its owner's hand. And, you know, it can bounce a land that Badgermold Cup puts into play. Oh, wow. That's so many Mana Dorks.
So cute, that Llanowar Elf's bird.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to bounce a Mana Dork here. That bounce off.
4 Llanowar Elves on the battlefield. Actually 5 if you count with the Mockingbird that is copying the Llanowar Elves here.
Yeah, so Simon has to start this Herboroid action going, putting a counter on Elf and Mockingbird.
On itself, so a lot of counters going around. Can Gaitan Bossy here match what Simon is doing and the pressure that he's applying?
Let's see.
A lot of mana available.
Yeah, let's see if Gaitan has some interactions. He can, in a similar way where when you don't have a 1-drop, you can Mockingbird it. When you don't have an Herboroid, you can Mockingbird it. And I think Gaitan does have Mockingbird. So what he can do is play a Badgermold Cub, and then he has access to so much mana. It's unbelievable. Something like 10? Yes, he has access to 10 mana if he plays Badgermold Cub here. Let's see what he can do with that.
Great move, Bohem. It seemed like a great advantage to get from all those Mana Dorks. But Badgermold Cup, so mana is going up. Now all the Dorks give 2 mana instead of just 1.
Let's see. What's the other card other than Mockingbird in Gaitan's hand? That's the question.
Considering here what they want to do with the cards available.
And yeah, it's deep in the tank, only 2 cards available. He has to decide what is the most impactful one.
And Simon replied that the biggest Magic accomplishments, not Player of the Year, but to be in the booth with me and to doing videos with you.
Of course.
Trying to conquer our hearts here. Ooh,
that was
okay. Quantum Riddler here.
That was not a Mockingbird, that was a Quantum Riddler. He was thinking whether to warp it or to cast it. And he decides to warp it instead. Because he has double blue in the form of Gene Pollinator and Breeding Pool. But he chose to warp it instead. What was the cards that he drew?
Warping it, drawing 2 cards.
I think he drew a Spider Sense, which does counter the activate ability, sorry, no, triggered ability of Herboroid at the beginning of combat. Okay, let's see, 4 mana. What's he playing? Ooh, that is a Mockingbird. So he did have the Mockingbird. I felt like
a Mockingbird can copy Simon's Herboroid.
Yes.
And that one flies.
He can copy that, or he can copy Riddler. But now Gaitan does not have access to Spider Sense, and you know, the player that plays Herboroid first definitely gains an edge in this in the mirror match, because you just get to put counters on your creatures first. But Gaitan has a lot more cards.
Creatures, yes.
A lot more creatures.
Gaitan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures, while Simon only is 3. But they are good, and Badgermole Cub is definitely going to help increase the board presence on Simon Nielsen's side. There's also a Spider Manifestation in hand.
Did Simon draw?
I think
now.
Simon has Bounce Off.
Yeah, Bounce Off is an instant bounce spell, which he prefers over into the Flood Maw. Let's see what he chooses to do here. So yes, Mockingbird, copied Urborroid on the right side, Mockingbird, copied Llanowar Elf on the left side. Of course, Mockingbird means that the card is now clone, is the same card, except it has flying.
It's even better. Not an easy choice here by Simon.
Of course, is in the tank. He's slightly behind. He's definitely behind, despite being on the play, which is a huge advantage. He had to kind of give up that advantage with the Maul and with Gaitan just having so many mana dorks that actually he was able to deploy more mana even if he was
Not only mana dorks, but then the Quantum Riddler too also, because usually the issue of playing many mana dorks is that you just play your mana dorks and then you have nothing to follow up. But here, just Quantum Riddler being amazing at refilling their hand.
Very, very important. Very important to, you know, pair those mana dorks with the Quantum Riddler redraws. Let's see now if Simon decides, what Simon decides to do. He just has a couple of lesser impactful card, I want to say. Yes, it's very good. The Badgermole Cub and Spider Manifestation are very good on turn 2, but they're less good on turn 4.
And Simon here analyzing what to do. And I love these stages where we see that a player is thinking, and I'm always thinking, what can we learn here from them? What are they doing that I wouldn't do, that maybe is the reason why they are here in top 8 and I'm not?
I was thinking for so long it doesn't allow our health to play Badgermole Cub. You think so much that, you know, you fool yourself. Okay. So, the Cub turns on a Willow Verge. The Willow Verge will be able to play the Spider Manifestation, and then we're going to go to combat and distribute 2 counters on every single creature, while not holding up Bounce Off. So I guess he has to tap the Llanowar Elf to play Spider Manifestation, and then he's able to play Bounce Off of that Verge.
Look at that. Simon also has a lot of creatures. Not only Gaitan here, but both players with a big board presence. And how many counters do you think we'll get this game? What is your prediction?
Yeah, we need a lot of dice. So far, there's 3, 6, 7, 10, 12 dice on the table.
Let us know, Twitch chat, how many counters do you think is going to be the max here during this game?
Yeah, 2 counters on everything. Okay. Okay, they decided that blue is gonna be the color. Oh, choice. Okay, Gaitan instead can go for the Italian colors. He has red, white, and green dice.
Okay, and Gaitan here, seeing Simon's board presence, what can they do to follow up? There's the Quantum Riddler in the warped area.
Yeah, so Gaitan can, at the very least, go land Riddler draw 2. But maybe Druid Nature's Radom, which wins the game on the spot, thanks to Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Thanks to that Badgermole Cup, Gaitan also has access to a lot of mana.
Gaitan keeps his cards down, and I'm curious to know if he has an answer to that Urborroid. Because if he does, it's going to be very, very hard for Simon to come back.
What's interesting about this deck is that you get all this ramp, but it's green. So sometimes if you have a lot of blue sources, it gets kind of complicated to cast all of them, even though Gaitan here has 13 mana, I believe.
Yeah. What the players are thinking, I guess it's a nice chance to take a look at this top 8 survey that we got. I've got Gata and Boss in front of me, and he says that Spell Pierce is the card that won him so many matches when it was clutch a couple of times. Not a card that you usually see, and Gaetan is playing it, whereas Simon is not. There is in fact one copy of Spell Pierce in the sideboard, so I guess that's all you need. But yeah, Spell Pierce is very important. Also, Jukas Diaklowski played it in his adventure deck, so definitely a card to keep in mind whenever you play a closed deck list. You know, maybe you want to play your land first and tap, take 2 damage to play around it in the future. Here, Quantum Raider drew another land, so Gaetan is not really able to do very much, so it just goes to combat.
Is Simon going to bounce off? Looks like so. Going to bounce off that Mockingbird, which is Uroboros, avoiding Gaetan getting to put all the counters this turn.
Yeah, and Gaetan can go Spider Manifestation, Spider Sense, tapping Gene Pollinator and something else. He could also play the land pre-com, but I believe, I don't know. I guess this is a turn 4, so yes, he already made a land draw for turn.
So Simon at this moment has 6 creatures on the board, Gaetan on the other side, 7 creatures. Actually 8 if you count that Earth-banned land as well.
Archmage's Druid, that's a very important one to be able to kill Uroboros. Uroboros right now has 6 toughness, but that's not going to be a problem because we can now play Spider Sense, and then we can put 2 counters on the Quantum Riddler, and then we can put 1 more counter on the Quantum Riddler and deal 7 damage to Uroboros. So Gaetan does have all he needs to be able to turn this game around here, using Spider Sense to counter bounce off, and then using that green mana left over with the Llanowar Elf help to Archmage's Druid.
Let's see if that's the play that they go for.
But yeah, while there it is, this is the counter spell. Yeah, the player is being so careful. This is...
You don't have time, right?
This is a pace of play that you cannot keep in a normal time tournament.
It's top 8. You don't really have time.
Top 8, you don't have time, but you still have to play a little bit faster up here. But anyway, both players are keeping the same pace right now. So Spider Sense bounces the Gene Pollinator, and then there's 1 green mana left over. And we can go tapping the Llanowar Elf, and we can fight. Well, first you had to let the Uroboros resolve. No.
Gene Pollinator.
Oh, did Simon bounce? Oh yeah, that's true. Simon bounced at the beginning of combat, of course. Sorry, in main phase 1, because if it was combat, it would be too late. So he has the ability to reuse the green mana to play Gene Pollinator. And now he distributes counters, and yes, I mean, he can just tap those 2 Llanowar Elves to play a Archmage's Druid.
Looking pretty good here for Gaetan. Look at this board, all the counters. That giant Uroboros that actually is a bird.
Yeah, Uroboros will distribute 2 counters each. And now, oh wow, it passes the turn, giving Simon the option to top deck his own one of Spider Sense here.
Let's see, what's the card?
Sweats it.
I think it's another Spider Manifestation.
It's not great. If that's the case.
It's not great. It needed to be something like Nature's Rhythm at this point.
Yeah, Nature's Rhythm would be a great draw. I mean, honestly, just anything. Simon only has 1 land down there, which is pretty funny. He has 6 things above that 1 little land. That Breeding Pool, a very important card in the format. Remember that this standard right now has very awkward mana base. There's some color combination like blue-green that has access to 3 very powerful dual lands, like the Botanical Sanctum with the Breeding Pool and the Verge, and there's color combination like Azorius that only have access to a Verge. There's no Hallowed Fountain and there's no Seacrum Coast. So
are you excited for the new Shocklands from Lorwyn Eclipsed?
Yeah, the new Shockland will bring some balance, but it's still so awkward to me that, you know, you've got some fast land and some not. So I wish we would see more balance in the land cycle, legal and standard, especially with standard being so large. You know, you got 3 years of set, and so
Yeah, plus all the foundation sets that this one is here at least until 2029.
Yeah, the next rotation will be in 2 years. You're right. Yeah, Steam Vance is gonna be there for Izzet, very much. Very much needed to make the mana base of Izzet a little bit better, just to make sure we have less of those awkward games. But yeah, as their player thinking, let's take a read at one more top-8 survey player. Asked to Gaetan Bossi, what was the opportunity to qualify for the Pro Tour a major motivation for attending the event? And what does the achievement mean to you? He says, yes, I'm ecstatic to get another chance to compete at such a high-level event. That means he already played a Pro Tour before. So congrats to Gaetan. Whereas, what was the motivation for Simon?
Simon says, yes, it gives me security as it takes some pressure off my performance in Richmond. So Simon already qualified for Richmond, but not until now is for the Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven in Las Vegas. So this means that even if Simon doesn't perform as well in Richmond, he will still be qualified for the following Pro Tour.
Yes, Filipa, and tell me, what was Simon's answer for the question, previous Magic accomplishment?
You would think, you know, Player of the Year could be one, you know, winning a Pro Tour could be one.
But instead,
no, it's being in the booth with Filipa and doing videos with Mango.
Doing videos with Mango, I like that one indeed. Simon decided to play his face-down card, and it was indeed a spider manifestation. You saw it well with your spider eyes. I don't know, do the spiders see?
I have...
Spider have stronger eyes?
No, I don't think
No?
so. They have a lot of eyes, though, don't they?
They have a lot of legs.
They also have a lot of eyes.
That's what I see that.
Maybe, I don't know. I never saw a spider up close.
Yeah.
It was just my spider sense, you know?
Yeah, indeed. Let's read some more. Let's read some more. The players are not giving us too much to talk about, but thankfully we have those sheet of paper in front of us.
I think it's funny that, Simon, what was the best card of the weekend and why? And he says Raccoon Gang, Scrap Shooter plus Keen-Eyed Curator. So you could actually say that Simon is playing a Raccoon tribal deck.
Yeah, because he has Sharpshooter. No, sorry. What's the name again?
Scrap Shooter and Keen-Eyed Curator.
Keen-Eyed Curator from Bloomborough. All right, we're distributing counters. Gaetan Bossi chose not to fight with Arches Mages Druid. Crazy.
Playing around what? Or maybe just like trying to save it to search for a creature? Maybe you could try to get a
Behemoth, of course.
Yeah.
Craterhoof Behemoth is the win.
Just going for the win immediately. And Gaetan Bossi here taking game one of this top 4. And now we are going to have a chance to change our deck sideboard.
Archimage Charm has a lot of words. I was focusing mostly on killing Rubberoid and just take over the game with your own Rubberoid. But Gaetan knows what he's doing, and his eyes were on that Craterhoof Behemoth that he could search with Arches Mages Druid, and he did that.
And here we have a look at their sideboard. There's Tishana's Tidebinder, so that could counter the
opposing Rubberoid.
Keen-Eyed Curator, Serac.
That's the Melt Strider Resolve. That's the fight spell. Then we got Unable to Scream. So a couple of answers to creatures. We've got the Disenchant, Spider Sense, Flood Moss, Felpius, Vivian Reed. I'd say you want to definitely increase the number of interaction that you have. And I think this matchup, you know, you want Mana Dork, you want Payoff, and you want some interaction. Very normal Magic gameplay, I would say.
Yeah, and we see here Simon Nielsen's sideboard, not too different, just some changes. There's also the Vivian. There's a lot of the same cards we saw before, but there's a Disdainable Stroke. There's a Basing Se sideboard. There's a Soul Guided Lantern, usually against Lessons, I guess, to exile that graveyard, but here, not much to exile.
Here. You once again, very similar sideboard, honestly, just bringing in some removal spells, shaving some Mana Dork, because you don't want to flood on them. But yeah, the Okay, so I think I've said it wrong a couple of times. That card is called
Archmage Druid.
Archmage. No, Archdruid's Charm. That's how it's called because it's a charm and it's an Archdruid. The Mage is the triple blue one from Modern Horizons 1 that saw some play at some point in Modern. I've said it wrong, but yeah, Archdruid Charm.
There we go. Say it 3 times fast.
Archdruid Charm. Archdruid Charm. No, Martin is trying to make me.
Now it's officially Archmage's Druid, okay?
No.
Never.
Archmage's Charm. No, wait, that's the blue one. We're in game number 2.
Llanowar Welf, a card that we can say 3 times very fast.
Llanowar Elf. I've seen that card plenty of times.
Ooh,
both players
multigun.
mulligan. Simon to 6, Gaetan to 5, but it does have. Oh wow, it doesn't have a dork, but it does have a dork, thanks to Mockingbird. I believe Simon only has 2 Mockingbird. Meanwhile, Gaetan has the full 4, so it was very good in this match.
Okay, Simon doesn't have a second land, but it doesn't matter because Llanowar Welf, Gene Pollinator. Dork.
Very nice.
Oh, and is that a Badgermole Cup? Oh, and the Crater of Behemoth? I don't know, but it seems like a lot of mana that Simon might be able to get if Gaetan doesn't have a way to interact. Gene Pollinator, tapping, Spider Manifestation, and Gaetan also with that Badgermole Cub in hand, so both preparing for that explosion of mana.
So Gaetan chose to not play Badgermole Cub this turn, instead going for the Spider Manifestation Gene Pollinator line, which does make a lot of sense. Some spider sense. Yes, after this match, we will show you Willie Edel. Don't worry, Mono Red players will be satisfied with their, most important match there against Izzet Lesson from Lorenzo Gruppi. Both of the players have a Crater of Behemoth in hand, actually.
2 mana here. We are going to have that Badgermole Cub. That means that Simon now has access to 4 mana. Of course, next turn that would be intensified. Not quite yet for Crater of Behemoth, but 2 mana, and he's paying for that Spider Manifestation.
Okay. Holding up Nadra's Radom and Behemoth in hand. What about Gaetan? What do they have? A Forest for now. Deep in the tank here. So Gaetan has in hand. Did you see a Behemoth in their hand?
No, I saw a Behemoth in Simon's hand, but not in their hand, no.
I thought I was trusting your spider eyes.
No, my spider eyes see Urboroi and see Badgermole Cub.
Okay, so is the game over? Does Simon have lethal?
I think so. I mean...
So remember that the Spider Manifestation untaps. So Simon can do 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I think it's lethal. It's lethal. I mean,
it has to be, right?
Maybe if Gaetan blocks with all the things they have, they can survive, but I doubt it.
Urboroi as well, adding a lot of counters there.
Yeah, so like, Gaetan does have a lot of defense.
It's nice that the Spider Manifestation untaps once you play the Crater Hoof.
It does. So you can tap all the 4 permanents to the right. Spider Manifestation, 2 Llanowar Elf and Forest. Cast your 8-drop. Swing. Actually,
untap.
Untap. It's gonna give +8/+8 trample to everything. It must be lethal. There's, I don't know. No. I'm gonna say it's no way that it's not enough. It's so much damage. Crater of Behemoth is so much damage. People really underestimate how much damage it is. When I play Cube and either me or one of my teammates receives a Crater of Behemoth, they're like, oh, let's count. I'm like, no, the game is over. Like, the opponent is representing like 50 damage right now. Give you +8/+8 and trample to 4 things. 8 times 4 is 32. Actually,
Might not be enough.
Gaitan
It
might
depends
have
here.
enough, yeah.
Because Gaitan does have a
But
lot
is he
of...
attack the question is he attacking?
If they're attacking, I mean,
Sorry.
then that will remove some of the...
Yeah.
But attacking here...
Okay. Attacking
Wow.
for 2.
Okay.
Attacking for 2. Simon taps very quickly.
It's Crater Hoof. Okay, let's attack with everything. Matt is for blockers.
Maybe Simon could have afforded to go Nature's Rhythm first. Actually, if this is not lethal, which may not be. No, okay, it is. All right, 1-1. The game so far has always ended with a Crater Hoof Behemoth resolved.
Usually when you have a
piece.
Crater Hoof, +7/+7 to earlier creatures, attack with 4 creatures, that is enough to end the game.
Yes.
Good game there. And Simon taking game 2. That means that we will have a game number 3. And so far, the name of the game has been Crater Hoof Behemoth, because that turn 1, that's the way that Gaitan managed to win the game, even though we didn't quite see it yet, because Simon just conceded, knowing that that would be searched for. And now Simon just winning with the card.
Yeah, so this is mulligan to 6 versus mulligan to 5. But honestly, the mulligans have just been like, you mostly just need an explosive hand. And that's the most important thing. It's not really about how many cards you're left with at the end of turn 3. It's whether you have the Herboroid, it's whether you have the Mana Dorks, it's whether you have the game advantage to be able to just overrun the opponent with an actual overrun, Crater Hoof Behemoth. The card, the overrun, you know, ever since I've seen Restored printed that card, so many games just end that way. In Legacy, you have Natural Order, Crater Hoof Behemoth. In Modern, you can do Greens and Zenith, Crater Hoof Behemoth. In Standard, you can do Nature's Rhythm, Crater Hoof Behemoth.
You know what's my favorite card of these decks?
What is it?
Mockingbird. Because it can
Mockingbird.
be any card.
It can be any card. Phantasmal Image used to be that. Okay, the players have starting, and we have Gene Pollinator, no Llanowar Elf this time.
No Llanowar Elf there for Gaitan, but Simon matching the energy with turn 1 Gene Pollinator.
Yes, no Mockingbird needed for this mirror match.
Land for the turn. Access to 2 mana so far. That's going to be a Spider Manifestation. That means that Gaitan does have access to 1 more mana, but I'm not sure if they have another Dork. Looks like no. Simon is going to draw.
Simon doesn't see the card. Is he in need of a land? And did he just break?
Oh, easy need of a land, and he did break. I mean, there's the Gene
Okay.
Pollinator,
Yeah, okay,
and
so-
there's the Mockingbird.
Yeah, so what you can do is Forest tap, Gene Pollinator, tap those 2 permanents, Mockingbird, another Gene Pollinator, but Gene Pollinator is so much worse than Llanowar Elf or Spider Manifestation or just lands. Keeping a 1-lander on the game 3 of his semifinals here at Spotlight Series Lyon.
If there's a deck that can win on 1 land, it's this one, with so many Dorks bouncing off the Spider Manifestation, thinking, okay, if my game is late, yours is also going to be.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. So using that advantage of being on the draw to kind of, you know, doing a card disadvantage play, which is bouncing a card, but a tempo advantage play. So yes, I'm missing a land, but you also have to get back a little bit. This way maybe I can top deck a land and I'm back in the game.
Let's see here how Gaitan can follow up. 3 mana available, but actually might be more from that Gene Pollinator. So starting with this Spider Manifestation here, now has access to 2 mana if they tap it, the Gene Pollinator and Spider Manifestation to play it.
Llanowar Elf and attack for 1. Okay.
I like that.
Let's see. Does Simon draw a land?
Land, 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 land.
He's just sweating.
Oh, it's not a land, but it's a Spider Manifestation. There's also Badger Mole Cub, right? You can just play Badger Mole Cub, and next turn your Gene Pollinators will just give you so much more mana.
It would have been so good if you drew a land here. It could have just gone Cub, and then use that land to play Mockingbird for Cub, and then next turn he would have so much mana. Instead,
Sometimes these things happen, so
yeah, no, I mean, we're playing a card game, a lot of variants, and these decks don't have any card selection, so you just gotta sweat it from turn 1 draw step. You already gotta draw the right card, and you know.
And this is where Gene Pollinators are so much worse than Llanowar Welfs, right? In this particular position, imagine how much better a Llanowar Welf would have been.
Okay, Bajamo Cub seems to be on... No, never mind. Spider Manifestation is the selected card for Simon, who just passes the turn. It's Gaitan's turn to do something meaningful. Ooh, that just drew Urborroid.
That's the card that names the deck.
That names the deck. And, oh, look at that. Gaitan can go Urborroid and then Orpa Quantum Riddler.
Yeah.
Draw 2 cards.
The Spider Manifestation untapping with the Urborroid is so good.
It doesn't matter how many Pro Tours in a row you top-8'd, you still gotta draw that second land. You still gotta keep that one lander and hope. You know, this is a...
It looks like they are discussing something.
The players maybe are being disturbed.
Yeah, it looks like they're hearing some noise.
Oh, maybe they are hearing us.
I hope not.
Yeah, maybe I just spoiled Gaitan's top deck there. Actually, I have a story about that. When I was playing the Mythic Invitational top 4, the music and the commentators were so loud that I was just hearing everything the commentators were saying, spoilering every good player's hand, and it was, yeah, definitely something that the organizer of the event will have to check here. So hopefully that's not the issue.
You have to speak very...
I have to speak loud. I have to speak quiet.
Yes, you know, like when you're a kid and you're supposed to be in bed.
No. We have to be excited. Excited about this game. Let's go. Let's go. Magic the Gathering, you know, not the most maybe exciting game to cast.
What do you mean? It is the most exciting game in the world.
It is, but hey, it is our job to make it more exciting. So here we see Gaitan going for Urborroid and then going for Lano.
Copying the Llanowar Welf.
Wow.
Just getting a bunch of counters
Copying
there.
the Llanowar Elf is unexpected.
Look at all these counters.
And then the Quantum Riddler, of course, will leave the battlefield here at the end of the turn.
Attacking with Spider Manifestation, dealing 3 damage. What can Simon do? Is there a land? Is it enough?
Come on, Simon, draw a land.
No.
A 4-drop
Still
instead.
not a land.
No way, guys. That's a fight spell, but yeah. Oh my God. So what Simon can do is play.
But this Urborroid is just so good. It's just going to get so much value. You cannot let this card survive for multiple turns.
Bajamo Cub, it's the battlefield, but it's so much worse if you Earthbend the land that is tapped. And now you get 2 mana to do what? To play a Mockingbird, which
you
cannot. I mean, yes, man, Earthbending a land that's already.
Okay, now Simon has.
That's 3.
3 mana.
What does he do there?
3 mana. But now everything is tapped.
Yeah, he has 3 mana to do what? Draw a card.
Okay,
draw land.
Trying to find. Okay. Quantum Riddler is going to untap, so actually has 3 mana.
Okay.
Okay, there's a land, so there's actually 4, 5 mana now.
5 mana now. He can go either Nature's Rhythm, but mostly just gonna go Urborroid.
Urborroid and tap again. Okay. I mean.
Okay, it did a lot for having 1 land.
That was value. Might be a bit late, but it was a good display.
Okay, so not counting Simon out yet. It's crazy to me that Gaitan played a Mockingbird on Alano
I think Gaitan might have Nature's Rhythm in end,
Ooh, if
and
that's
that
the
will
case.
just be...
It's not enough. There's no. Yeah, man. Copy Mockingbird. Like Mockingbird could have copied. I guess there was no Bajamol Cub, but it could have copied Bajamol Cub, and it would have added so much mana this turn. Okay, Semi is not over yet. Is tapping Spider Manifestation, and wow, going for the wait a second. Did Simon turn this game around?
It might have.
Did Simon turn this game around? In the chat, root.
What happened?
Who are you rooting for? Is this game not over yet?
And these sideboard cards really coming in clutch here for Simon.
Simon is now
Maelstrider Resolve, 1 mana enchantment.
double removal spell on Spider Manifestation and Urboroi, and Gaitan draws another Llanowar Elf.
Is this really happening?
Oh my god, the game actually just turned around. Simon untapped with just one forest. It seemed like he was like getting, even the best player sometimes just don't draw land and lose. Simon did not draw land, and he may not be losing this game. This game may still be here.
Yeah, this Maelstrider Resolve, 1 mana, fight, and gives your creature +0/+2 and cannot be blocked in more than one creature. Oh no, Twitch chat lost us.
We're back.
We're back, okay.
We
It's good.
are back.
We are back, and Simon is back as well to this game out of nowhere.
Simon was too powerful that he crushed the stream.
Yes, I mean, and if you're Gaitan, you just have to be thinking, what just happened? I was so ahead.
Crazy.
Okay, and Gaitan thinking, okay, can I have the same kind of turn that Simon just had of 1 land and dreams?
All right. Tapping the forest. And a Verge to play another Mockingbird. That's why he did it. That's why casted the first one so recklessly, because he had a second one. Now able to copy
Bajamol Cub.
Bajamol Cub, but he doesn't have double blue, does he?
No. I mean, there's the Pollinator. There's the forest, there's Llanowar Wealth, but yeah, only one source for blue, which is that Gene Pollinator.
What do they have left in end? Do you know? Have you seen it?
I thought there's a Nature's Rhythm, but I might be wrong.
Just read them now for 4 mana.
Oh, it's
No,
Urboroi.
yeah, Urboroi was bound. No, it wasn't bounced. This is another Urboroi.
It's a shiny Urboroi. It's Llanowar Wealth, that card, so...
Counters on everything.
I mean, a lot of counters, but they might not be enough. Simon now going to untap.
Simon untaps. He has a Warp Quantum Riddler that he can cast thanks to the Spider Manifestation, the Gene Pollinator, you know, plenty of blue mana.
There is 1 Quantum Riddler in each side. Simon with 2 Bajamol Cubs. One is the Mockingbird, the other one is the original. So every one of these mana dorks is providing 3 mana. Simon does not have a shortage of mana.
Tapping 3 permanents to play a 4/6 flyer, draw 2 cards, and tap the Spider Manifestation.
Ooh, another Riddler and a land.
Okay, so do we have blue mana? Yes, we do.
There's 2 Gene Pollinators.
Gene Pollinator tapping the enchantment. Love to see that. Adding 2 blue, 1 blue, 1 green, and then 1 blue, 2 green, of course, because of the 2 Bajamol Cub. Is Simon casting the Riddler or warping it? He's casting it. Okay, so using 1 blue, 2 green. So 1 green. Oh, no, he's warping.
He's just
Okay.
warping to not have to tap the second Gene Pollinator
Ooh,
and just getting
ooh.
mana for that Spider Manifestation.
This is game over.
Nature's Rhythm.
Maybe. So it goes to 7 mana. He needs 9
Yeah, there's 4 mana floating.
It is enough.
There's 4 mana floating, so we are going to have...
Gaitan doesn't have any cards in it. He can't represent a counter spell.
Wow, this game has been absolutely insane. Nature's Read, I'm going to reveal that creator who
Oh my god. Simon had 1 forest, and the turn later, he attacks for 1 million. Crazy.
Getting that Badger Mole cub.
Wow. And gets the job done thanks to the Crater Hoof Behemoth. That's so much damage, over 50 damage.
Wow.
He's dealt, and Simon Nielsen from Denmark, one of the most accomplished player in Europe, gets the job done. That is a great, just very happy for you, Simon. Wow.
Such a great display. Congratulations to Simon. Also, congratulations to Gaitan on making into the Pro Tour. Good luck to them. And I have to say, this game was insane. I couldn't see Simon win at one point. I don't know how he was able to turn on the game. And Simon did play mirror after mirror and just beating the mirrors and just climbing
I was going to come up with
into the final.
I was going to come up with excuses at how, like, sometimes in Magic the Gathering, you know, you get unlucky, but the game is still amazing. You lose, you take it. But look at Simon, he won 2 turns later. I was coming up with excuses. This is incredible. Congratulations to Gaitan Bossi for reaching the top 4. Amazing achievement. I wish you the best of luck at Pro Tour Las Vegas. But then we gotta hear.
You know what? I'm really excited because Simon is not here with us in the booth. So he's like, you know what? I'm not in the booth, but I will appear in stream as much as possible. Let's have an interview with him and Carl.
Simon! All right, in the booth again. Simon, you had a 1-lander. What? How? I was watching the game. I was like, oh no, Simon, we'll never see him in this chair ever again. No! This is why we usually have Simon cast. It's because he's too strong and we don't want to let him loose. Can you Yes, you're in the finals now.
I am.
That's wild.
Really cool. Honestly, I love one-landers. I think
you're the only person who's ever said that.
Usual advice is that you should always mulligan one-landers. And I think that's not
advice,
true.
Please.
If you want to really level up, you have to figure out when to take chances. This is a spot where I'm on the draw in the mirror, which makes it a really bad matchup, like really bad.
You also missed multiple lands off the top.
Yeah, that's not relevant. So,
I mean,
so some of the most important things in the mirror is that you have Badger Moles and preferably multiple. So I had Badger Mole and Mockingbird and a piece of interaction and 2 mana dorks. So I figured if I draw my land, it's insane. If I don't draw my land, I can potentially still be fine depending on how his draw is. Yeah. And so drawing the Spider Manifestation was really important. I was praying it wouldn't die because it let me A, not develop my Badger Mole so that he could copy it, I could keep it in hand, and B, go completely off on that turn where I went Riddler into Ouroboros into double fight spell.
They passed a turn to a man with 1 land.
Yes.
Well, they had a massive board. Usually you pass thinking, okay, I should be fine. I'm up on the board. It looks like I vomited my hand onto the table, and this poor little Simon's got 1 land, and they get the turn back with no Ouroboros, and you just dropped your hand. It's as if it's not like you cast your permanents. Your Spider Manifestation made like 9 mana that time.
No, that card is just really, really good. This is why you don't put untap on a card.
Okay, now we're gonna see if you face Willie or the Is It deck. Congratulations, Simon. I've been reading.
Thank you so much.
The craziest thing is, this is about you, but I'll take a tiny moment to say I've got 2 people on my caster draft team that are in the top 8, you and Willie, and if you face them in the finals,
Oh, that would be so cool.
So it is a team effort, but mostly you win a lot of money, fame, and you're going to the Pro Tour, and I'm very happy for you. Congratulations, Simon.
Thank
this
you.
is awesome. Well done.
That high five, it is.
And I'm rooting for you in the finals. Let's get there.
Congratulations, Simon, making it into the final. Over 700 players from yesterday, and you are one of the last 2. Let's see if you can get the trophy and claim yourself the Spotlight Series Avatar The Last Airbender champion. Now we have our backup feature match, which is actually the other semifinals that's going to happen, with Hall of Famer Willie Edel playing Boros versus Groupie here. Lorenzo Groupie that is playing Is It Lessons. Is It Lessons that was the most played deck. Now there's 1 copy of it remaining in our top 4. And let's see here if we can get is it Lesson to the final, or is it going to be Boros? We have here the version of Lorenzo Gruppi playing the Storm Chasers talent version. There's also the other version that Lucas, for example, played, playing off pretty well here for Lorenzo. Lorenzo, that is Italian, right?
He is Italian from Piacenza, and I was telling how for 2 days in a row, most of the Is It lessons we've seen were the same two players. Timothy from France and Lukas Jaklowski from Czech Republic. They've been like dominating the Swiss. Lorenzo came in, won the mirror match against Timothy in the top 8, and now is the only Is It lessons left. So kind of unexpected, outcome for this blue-red decks. By far the best performing blue-red versions. Is It comes in with a couple of versions, looting, prowess, but it's pretty obvious right now. It's pretty clear that Lessons is the best performing one according to these results, and we see now him with the Storm Chaser talent, pretty straightforward build, exactly the one that Seth Manfield won Worlds not that long ago, and that's exactly what Lorenzo said in his player profile. Is that why did you choose this deck? Is that after Worlds it seemed to be the best deck, so I was just playing that deck, locked it quite really, and just learned it well, because you need to play this deck very, very well to extract the full potential. This deck has a lot of power level, can do things that don't seem normal for standard, but you have to play the cards in the right way.
And Willie's top 8 player survey, the biggest flex of them all. Previous Magic accomplished. MTG Hall of Fame.
That's
Actually.
That's
and actually,
good.
Willie, very happy to be here because he's qualified already for PT Richmond, like Simon, but was not qualified yet for this Pro Tour Secrets of Strixhaven. And this way, he gets to save his invite in case he doesn't get to qualify for Amsterdam. And that way, he can just use his invite that is given because he's an Hall of Famer for Pro Tour Amsterdam. Now he's queued for the next 3 Pro Tours, and he's very happy about it. Him that came all the way from Brazil playing this Boros deck and starting immediately. Turn 1, Iron Claw.
That's it. That's the best card according to Willie after they banned the 1-drop.
Fire Banning Lesson there taking care of Iron Claw. 2 mana available for Willie. That just passes. No Amberheart Challenger here.
And Lorenzo has the best turn to play his deck can give, which is Artist Talent. According to him, also the best card in the deck.
And here we see Willie just passing a bit. We saw a game that Willie almost won just by burning the Is It Lessons opponent. And actually, that is the match that Willie faced on previous game.
There it is.
Top 8.
Boom, 4 damage, end of turn, Boros Charm. Lorenzo just levels up the talent. We'll look at Willie. He's playing around that counter magic, Eloquentia, and just burns main phase. Wow.
Burn, okay.
He says you don't have a Grand, I'm just gonna shock you all the way. You're 10 already. Boomerang Basic's pretty awkward here, because normally you wouldn't mind to bounce your own permanent just to cycle, but I don't want to bounce my Artist Talent that I just leveled up, so I'm just gonna pass instead. And Willie passes. Content to just untap, draw, pass. He has a Burst Lightning, which can be kicked.
And I see a lot of Brazilian players in the chat here rooting for Willie. Boa tarde.
Yeah, we got
everyone.
Of course, Filipa, you speak Portuguese, so you can.
Yeah, I understand chat, so you think nobody's understanding, but
if we got some Italians in the chat, I also understand you. To root for the opponent as well. Lorenzo finds Agnaquila, which is a pretty a land that is a lot better than basic Highland here has in this Drogo game. You can just loot, so pretty powerful there.
All the spells are cheap now.
Isn't the thing? Because he doesn't have that many options available to him. He just has a bunch of removal spell. He can go Boomerang Basics and replay the talent, but I think I would just pass here and activate the Agnaquila end of turn. No, it seems like something is happening. Well, maybe leveling up the talent to 3. Okay, so from now on, if a source would deal non-combat damage to a player, that deals 2 more. So if he goes for Firebending Lesson, he can deal 4 damage. If he goes for Combustion Technique on a Noble Kite, for example, it's going to now deal 5 damage. So that's why maybe Lorenzo went for it. Oh, wait.
Life, though.
Look it up. There's already 2 avatar faces next
is
to
game
the player.
3.
This is game number 3.
Oh, okay. So that changes everything.
That changes everything. The players are just 1 game away from that trophy. They have already sideboarded. The Mage Bane Lizard from Willie are already in the deck, though, so that's what Lorenzo was thinking about before. Agnaquila is activated, and Lorenzo is now thinking about what to discard, but Willie has a window to resolve. This is why Willie was main phasing all this burn spell. I was like, wow, there's not that many counter magic in Lorenzo's deck, but no, we're post sideboard. So there are copies of Flesh Freeze, of Negate, of Spell Pierce. So it makes a lot more sense now.
Very close here to the finals. Let's see if burning the opponent will work with the opponent only at 4 life. Can Willie just burn the opponent away? No creatures needed.
Yeah, he went for 6 more points of burn, sending Lorenzo down to 4. He has 1 Boros Charm left in the deck. Nova Kite is not going to be able to deal much because Lorenzo has Combustion Technique in hand to get rid of it.
Firebending lesson discarded. Let's draw a card. That's a monument to endurance.
So we've seen Willie lose this game in top 8 against Lucas Jaklowski, just burning out with Lucas just at 1 life, having him play monument and talent. Let's see if this game repeats or if Willie is able to find the lethal burn spell, because Lorenzo right now does not have a Flesh Freeze, does not have a negate. So if Willie top decks a burn spell, exactly a Boros Charm, that's going to be lethal. There it is. Monument to Endurance for 2 mana. Discarding a land, drawing a card. The monument is still not online because, of course, that's on the stack. Ooh, that's a very good card. And now...
Ooh, Ancestor Recall.
Ancestor Recall.
AKA Accumulate Wisdom.
And now you have to announce the mood. You have to say now if you want to make a treasure or if you want to draw cards. So you cannot choose as you go. Let's see what does Lorenzo do.
I guess.
He says something now. Because he's going to do it twice. First, I'm assuming you do first draw.
Yeah, deciding here on how to sequence this. Treasure.
Treasure first. And now we loot again.
And now
Pink.
we are going to pink 3. Actually going for an aggressive play here.
Wow. It's very surprising to me. He figures that he wants to shorten the clock. He has an otter that's attacking. Yeah, look at me. I'm the burn deck now. Let's see. There's still 1 activation left for Monument to Endurance. He's asking if you already made a land drop. No, he hasn't made a land drop. No. He has to make a land drop. Pretty sure about it. We have 5 lands last turn, I think.
And where are the
All good.
spells that Willie has in hand?
I think Willie has a Burst Lightning in hand.
So only 2 more damage needed, really.
Mm-hmm.
To kick the Burst Lightning, Willie needs 5 mana. That's still a bit away.
The Monument only deals 3 damage, despite Artist Talent being on Chapter 3, because Monument to Endurance says lose life, and Artist Talent says deal damage. Tapping out here, you have 1 more mode to choose with the talent. So, sorry, with the Monument. So first we're gonna resolve that, discarding land, draw a card, draw another card.
Quencha.
Quencha is not bad. You should draw a card now, though. Yes. Draw a card from Monument. Now the Monument is expired. And then you loot again. And now no more modes for the Monument, because you've done all 3.
Yeah, you still have the other monument, though, that is not expired yet.
It is not. It is not. But you do have to cast spells. And right now, Lorenzo definitely want to hold up that treasure to play Eloquentia on a Boros Charm, for example. So I would just attack with that Otter token for how much?
Oh, so many spells got cast already.
I think it was what? 2?
4?
Oh wait, maybe did he cast Otter this turn? I think he cast Otter this turn. Yeah. He just has to pass. He can't attack. So many things happened. Unlike the previous matchup, that was a lot slower. In this one, actually, things happened.
And let's
I prefer to watch this one than the mono green mirror match.
Really?
Yeah.
I also like some Boros
Yeah,
action.
Izzet is a lot more fun than green for me.
Okay, so let's see here if Willie does manage to find a way to pass these two last points of damage.
Willie does have another Boros charm. He really does. So Willie, if he has land Boros charm, he wins the game. Because Lorenzo only has access to Eloquentia.
The Eloquentia was the perfect.
Yeah, I think it was actually the last card that was drawn. Crazy. But if Willie doesn't have a fourth land,
if Willie had a fourth land, probably already would have used it.
Crazy. Maybe I missed view. Maybe I didn't see it well. I don't know if the chat can confirm that there's a fourth Boros charm in hand or if I just dreaming.
Is Mengu dreaming?
Willie doesn't want to show. Willie doesn't want to show the cards.
There are 3 cards and they're not lands. So.
Yeah, if Lorenzo untaps with so much mana, double talent, double monument, an auto token. Maybe he doesn't deal 17 damage this turn, but he's gonna make sure to draw flash freeze, negate, and so much more to not die anymore.
Yeah, this is going to be tougher and tougher. The window is.
I'm wondering why Willie didn't go for it though. Because now, let's say...
Trying now. Eloquentia.
Not that it matters too much, because obviously Lorenzo had it, but like, let's say Willie... Like... Because Lorenzo in response could have just draw 4 cards, basically, by looping, so I think I would have just gone for it, but yeah, I mean, not that it would have mattered. So the 4 Boros charm would have played. Willie played this game like you play a modern deck. You basically just played a modern deck here. No Goblin Guide, though.
Tough one.
But anyway, now Lorenzo starts what his deck does the best, which is casting spells and drawing extra cards. Man, I'm so envious. Drawing cards is so fun.
Come on, Mango.
Yeah. And now we can go...
Are you playing Izzet Lessons right away when you get to Italy?
Sure. I mean, I have it already sleeved. I lent it to Strasky in this tournament. I don't even have to change any cards.
Go. But maybe now you're going to add the Storm Chaser's talent after seeing Lorenzo Gruppi playing this version here.
Maybe. I mean, again, the reason why Lucas Jaklowski and Andrzej Strasky came up with the no-talent version is that it was better against Simic Roboroi and the Mirror Match, which seemed to be, honestly, the meta game, like in this top 8. And Willie removes his headphones, gives a handshake to Lorenzo Gruppi, which represents Izzet Lessons, represents Italy, and now is playing against Simon Nielsen, one of the strongest opponent that came into play. Now the judges are telling me, you got 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes, you can go refresh yourself, and then the final is gonna start. Take your time, wash your face, tell your mom that you're in the final. Tell your dad to turn on the TV because I'm playing. And
I have to say, love to see the game there. Game number 3. Love the strategy that Willie went for. In the end, it didn't work out against Izzet Lessons, and we will see more of Lorenzo Gruppi in the finals against Simon Nielsen. But I love this game, honestly. And Willie just was so happy. He's always so happy. So thanks for coming to Lyon.
Definitely, I wish to see you again.
See you here, and hope you join more European events. Now that you can use your Hall of Fame invite to just go to Pro Tour Amsterdam. So love to see that, and congratulations again, Lorenzo Gruppi. Very good. I'm not sure here if we can see the brackets, but a very good win there on
definitely
Lorenzo.
Beat Timothy on Izzet Lessons, and now Willie Edel, so definitely 2 very strong opponent. But yeah, this is the bracket. We see the final between Simon Nielsen from Denmark on Simic Roboroi versus Lorenzo Gruppi from Italy on Izzet Lesson. The 2 most popular deck, the 2 best deck in Standard, making the final. Very typical of competitive Magic. I love to see that. This is what competitive Magic is about. You gotta bring the best deck, and you gotta play at best. And that's the recipe to win, to sit in those tables behind us.
I love to see it. We are going to have a very exciting final, Simon Nielsen versus Lorenzo Gruppi. And for me and you, Mango, it's going to be the end of the day because Martin and Arne will be the ones covering the final very well. Thank you, Mango, for joining me.
It was a pleasure.
To our sponsors, for Funfinity, Ultimate Guard, eBay Live, everyone that makes sure that this show gets possible. Everyone watching Twitch, YouTube, everyone here watching, because there's people watching us actually right now live
and
outside.
Keep keep on watching because the final is about to start. Don't go anywhere.
We'll see you soon.
Hello everyone, I am Emma, I'm your Fanfinity community manager for all TCGs. Hello and welcome at the Magic Spotlight, the Avatar in Lyon. Frank, I have you here with me to talk about your wonderful collection in this eBay Live collection Spotlight. Could you tell me a little bit more? What is it that you have gathered over these past... How long have you been playing now?
I've been playing for nearly 30 years, which feels crazy, but yes, Magic has been a big part of my life for most of my life.
Mm-hmm. You've been playing Magic longer than some of the Magic players have been alive. That's incredibly impressive. And
thanks for making me feel old.
Are there any specific items that you're incredibly excited about, some paraphernalia that you've collected through the years?
So I've never collected cards as much, as I'm more of a competitor than a collector when it comes to that. But over the years, there are like a whole bunch of like Magic adjacent items that I held on to.
Yeah.
For example, I have some playmats at home that were handed out to the 2004-2005 World Championship competitors.
Did they have a lot of playmats then?
No, this is actually like relatively recent that we are like often using playmats to play on. Back then, yeah, it was not as common. So when I got them, I was like, well, I'll just put them on the wall. And now in my living room, they bring me special memories of those events where I had like great performances and like awesome trips. And like met amazing people, all the things that make Magic such a great game.
Is there anything specific that stands out that you're exceptionally proud of, like a capstone of your collection, a crown jewel even maybe?
I also have a ring at home that was awarded when I was inducted in the Magic Pro Tour Hall of Fame in 2009 with like the gemstones of the 5 colors and my name on it. It's indeed a cherished possession. Besides, like the older deck boxes or storage boxes, Pro Tour competitor shirts, and so on. There's like a lot of Magic stuff, as I'm sure that like many other players have at home, besides an awesome collection of just cards.
Absolutely, and many of us are gathering and collecting items. I'm pretty sure Frank's not getting rid of any of his super unique memorabilia.
No, they hold special memories to me.
Of course. But if you are looking for some exclusive collectibles, make sure to check out the platform eBay Live from our sponsor. They have some amazing deals. You can check them out. They are an interactive live shopping experience that turns online shopping into a real-time community experience with unique offers. At eBay Live, you can ask questions, get your answers immediately, see all products in real time. You can find limited drops, collectibles, and exclusive offers. And you can get some great deals on some unique items. So thank you so much, eBay Live, for sponsoring us and this segment. And we're going to throw it back to the booth. Bye.
Welcome back, friends, for the final time. This is the finals of Magic Spotlight Avatar. We played 15 Swiss rounds. We played quarterfinals. We played the semifinals. We've had some world-class players eliminated along the way. Willie Edel just lost in the semis, and we now have the 2 finalists, which is the match between Lorenzo Gruppi and Simon Nielsen.
None other than Simon Nielsen.
Exactly.
Showing how good of a player he is. Just takes a break from coverage for once and just makes the finals. It still wants to be near the cameras, I suppose. Absolutely incredible stuff. But both of them, they actually faced off against each other in round 14 with Simon escaping successfully there. So it's a bit of a rematch here. But yeah, maybe Lorenzo can take it down again. Lorenzo on Izzet Lessons, Simon on the Simic Ouroboros deck. The showdown, the two titans of Standard right now, facing off here in the finals. Who will take down the Spotlight Series Lyon? I'm very excited to find out.
Yeah, certainly the 2 decks of the tournament, both of those decks were represented by 3 copies in the top 8. So it looks like the game is already underway. Simon had a turn to Badger Mole Cup, which got answered by Lorenzo's Firebending Lesson. And looks like Simon was on the play. Oh yeah, he was the 4th seed. Yeah, there we go.
And we are live.
This is live.
So I can't be screaming too excitedly because the players are actually not that far away.
Yeah.
Because they might actually like, oh man, he drew this card, and then the other player hears that. We don't want that to happen. And here we see a Mockingbird being fetched up to copy the land.
So Nature's Rhythm for Mockingbird. What happens here?
It turns the Mockingbird into just the Willow Rush Verge. It's not going to be a creature. It's just going to be a land.
Okay.
That's it. And
so kind of a Green Sun Zenith for like a Dryad Arbor type of thing. You just kind of get yourself an extra land.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Rampant Growth in a way. Interesting line here. Could have gotten Lano Elf, but I suppose that one is a lot more vulnerable to removal.
Yeah.
And now he does have blue mana up, which represents a bounce off and a Spider Sense as well.
You said you kind of helped a little bit to test Simon and the other guys with the Simic Ouroboros deck. What's the appeal of the deck? Why did they choose it for this event? You know, we have Lessons performing really, really well. It won Worlds. The deck is crazy. You're casting Ancestor Recalls. But obviously, you know, you guys have a really, really strong testing team. And, you know, if you decide to choose a deck over a deck that's playing Ancestor Recalls, that tells me you have a really good reason for that.
That's fair. Yeah, we liked the deck because also it had sort of this surprise equity, but that quickly vanished. Everybody played it on Magic Online in the last 10 days, so now we have it here being the second most played deck. But yeah, we liked it because it was very powerful and proactive, very fast, turn-free kills, uninterrupted. But in addition to that, just the consistency is incredible. And the 4 Quantum Rippler make it so that stuff like removal, sweepers, and all of that usually is quite good against a deck like this, is not that impressive. And here we see an incredible turn. The setup with the Mockingbird to ramp a little bit, not playing the Badger Mole last turn, baiting Lorenzo sort of into, oh yeah, I can tap out. My opponent just has a 1/1 in play. What's going to happen here? What could go wrong? And look at this. That was huge, and that's why Simon is just one of the absolute best players in the world, setting this up beautifully.
Yeah, and Lorenzo is in pretty deep trouble here. Il Quencha, not the best possible draw. Does he even have a removal spell for this Ouroboros? I mean, if he doesn't, this game is pretty much over, right?
Yeah. I see a Quench and a Boomerang Basics. Oh, I see a Combustion Technique.
Okay,
so
okay, so we have a game.
Yeah, we need to get a lesson in the bin, though, which I guess we have to use the Boomerang Basics on that Mockingbird?
Yeah, I guess another trouble for Lorenzo is that Simon now has access to a lot of mana, and next turn he can just harmonize the Nature's Rhythm for another Ouroboros, or alternatively soon for a Crater Hoof Behemoth, which is something he has been doing all weekend. He has a bounce off in his hand. That is a strange choice for a bounce spell.
Well, it's basically unsummon with upside. It also hits vehicles, but it's pretty much unsummon.
I guess, yeah, I think...
Protect your own guys. That's the reason we played Overflood more.
And you can target a land with it. I think Filipa and Andrea mentioned that in the semis, is that it can actually return a land made with, or earthbended with Badger Mole Cub.
We see a Combustion Technique targeting a Badger Mole, taking some mana away. Now the Ouroboros gets bounced back. But yeah, Lorenzo flooding a little bit. 6 lands in total here. 3 more in hand, and the Quench in hand, which would be nice to deploy against his Ouroboros, but he just doesn't have the mana.
He needs to find an Artist Talent very quickly to start getting some cards in the graveyard, discarding, triggering the Monument, drawing some more cards, finding more gas, finding more resources.
I think if I'm Simon, I would probably just play the Ouroboros again.
Yeah, I'll be pretty happy. You know, my opponent always taps out. Bounce it to my hand, you know, not a big deal. Another play Simon has available to him is just casting another Nature's Rhythm to find a Badger Mole Cub to try to, you know, get ahead on mana again. But yeah, the line with Ouroboros is pretty appealing. I mean, those creatures are going to start getting pretty big.
Yeah.
Right? He might want to wait a turn so that he can protect the Ouroboros with the bounce spell. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to go for it now. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Ouroboros, yep, trigger. My lands are now 3/3s, and the Ouroboros is a 2/4 pass the turn to you, no land. Is this an Artist Talent or some kind of card draw? It is an answer.
That was important. Iro's demonstration here to keep Lorenzo in the game. I think if that Ouroboros would have untapped, that would have been pretty rough. And yeah, he does have the Quench as well, so he can probably stop Simon's next play. And then if Lorenzo finds the ancestral, sorry,
the ancestral recall,
accumulate wisdom,
yeah.
he might just get back into this game or actually be in the lead.
So I wonder what line is Simon going to take now. Okay, drawing a land is going to make his choice a bit easier. I was wondering if he was just going to attack with the 2 lands, because that's 6 damage, right? That's a 3-turn clock. Clearly, my opponent doesn't have a lot going on. So tapping out, including the 2 lands that are now creatures, for a spell that could get countered, didn't seem too great. But with that extra land, now he has the option of casting Nature's Rhythm for 1. He can use one of the lands to try to find an Ouroboros, to try to find Badger Mole Cub.
Yeah.
Let's see what he decides to do.
Spot. Yeah.
I think he is kind of Nature's Rhythm flooded. I think he has 2 copies in his hand. I think there's a Quantum Riddler as well. So he kind of does want to get the cards out of his hand, but at the same time, I kind of like the idea of just tapping the 3/3s and just beating my opponent down while they don't have anything going.
This is the finals. We have untimed, so Simon can certainly take his time to think all the lines through. Think about what would make the top decks that Lorenzo has, or the cards that he has left in hand, play out the most awkwardly. I tend to just want to get that Badgermole going, personally, but looks like he's casting. No, he's casting it for Reclamation Sage. That's why he will. Well, or Sentinel of the Lost Lore. Both are actually reasonable, but I presume he's just going to go for the Rec Sage. But neither of them will resolve.
Exactly.
That Quench is in hand.
Yeah, Lorenzo has to be really happy about this. Simon kind of just walked right into the Quench, and that kind of just bought Lorenzo an extra turn. All right, that's a good draw.
Yeah, that's actually a great draw, yeah.
Discard a mountain, trigger the monument, draw 2 cards.
And then draw another one. He could choose to make a treasure to activate that Agna. It's actually a reasonable line. All right, now I guess it just plays the land now, so can activate the Agna on the opposing turn to sort of cast the catalog in a way.
Yeah, the Abandoned Attachments was an incredible draw here for Group B, which kind of just allows him to get back right into the game. Has the turn to Simon, and yeah, he's yet again going to have the decision of, do I want to deploy an expensive threat, possibly walk into another counter and basically lose my entire turn, or do I want to start pressuring your life total now that I have 6 damage on board?
Noteworthy is that the Verge, honestly, I'm not exactly sure, but I do believe the Verge has flying, as it's sort of that Mockingbird flying land, now animated. Yeah, Simon, again, could just go for the Rec Sage.
Yeah, I think given that he demonstrated he wanted to do that last turn, that suggests to me he's going to try to make the same play.
Oh, he's going for Badgermole from the graveyard.
Access 4?
I'm not exactly sure what. Yeah, I mean, he taps 3 power, and then he pays 4 mana, so that's executes 3, I believe. Getting the Rec Sage.
There's the Rec Sage. Yeah, so Simon decides to go for the long game, doesn't want to get too aggressive. Decides it's better to just deny my opponent the extra resources. I'm not aggressive enough, so I would just rather deal with your monument.
Yeah, I like that. He's slowing things down a little bit. And his hand is quite loaded with value, so he can actually play this sort of mid-range game right now pretty well.
Yeah, he's pretty well set up for the longer game. Lorenzo draws a Grand, so his hand now contains a Grand, a Boomerang Basics, and I think there's also Firebending Lessons. The Grand not particularly effective right now. It does make your spells, cost a little less mana, but I think it's unlikely to profitably attack at this point. Decides to ditch the Boomerang. Interesting. Rec Sage enters the battlefield, deals with the monument. Yeah, we're definitely looking for accumulate wisdom here. Try to draw some extra cards. Artist talent would be super nice to get the engine going again.
By the way, like, you know, I'm in the Discord so with the four of them, plus Nathan Stoyer, who's playing in Atlanta, who tested this deck a bunch, and they play tested this specific matchup like infinite times. And it is a really interesting matchup. It plays out in various different ways, sometimes fast, sometimes slower. The post-board games can go super, super long and grindy and this and that. It's a really, really cool matchup to play. And I'm sure Simon, with all that prep he did, knows exactly what he's doing. I was just talking to Loopy, who lost to Simon in the quarters, and Stefan, and they together went 8-1 against Lessons in this tournament.
Wow, really? I was just going to ask, what did they conclude from all the testing? That is very lopsided.
I don't know how Simon did, but I think Simon played against Lessons like the last 3 rounds maybe, before the top 8, and I think he beat them all.
I thought he mentioned that when he got into the draw bracket, that didn't work too well for him because he was getting the Jeskai controls. But yeah, he did. I think he did.
Got paired up a couple times.
Yeah.
All right, he picked up a Multiversal Passage. He's probably happy about that. And yeah, just a lot of options. This deck is not easy to play, like especially with the Nature's Rhythm being just, you know, it can add mana with the Badger Mole. It can also become an Ouroboros. You want to hold up the bounce off, perhaps.
Watching all the rounds at this event, did anything stand out to you? I personally like the Ally deck. I thought that was a great story. We had a guy here, one of the players that won a bunch of boxes on the Arena Direct event. Yeah. And he decided to just crack them and realize, hey, I can just build an Ally deck from this. And then he found himself, I think, at 8-1 after they won. Obviously, you need to get the mana base. Those are the only cards that you cannot find in the Avatar set, the last Airbender. But everything else is basically Avatar block constructed. I guess you can pretty much say the same thing about his Lessons. Anything you found particularly interesting this weekend?
I was excited to see some Jeskai artifacts and in the feature match area. That was a cool deck. We got to showcase a little bit. And yes, Simon, look at this. Sentinel to the Lost Lord. He's just playing control in a way. He's disrupting the monument, disrupting now the graveyard, stopping the Ancestral Wisdom. And yeah, really cutting off Lorenzo's good top decks here.
Yeah.
Although I will say that with the looting land in play for Lorenzo, he does have the ability to rebuild his graveyard somewhat quickly, so might actually get to enable the Wisdom again. You can certainly feel the tension. It is the finals. Players are slowing down.
You think they're stressed out or nervous? I always felt like whenever I logged the top 8, it was just like, oh, okay, cool. Now I can feel good about the result, and it's kind of the this is what you kind of came here for. Well, I guess the finals is very specific, yeah. But at least like they both locked up the Pro Tour invite already. There's no like extra special price other than the extra $5,000, which is obviously a pretty big deal. But I think they can both be pretty calm right now. That like, hey, we've had a good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it depends. Some people really want the trophy. Interesting. I thought Simon might keep up the bounce off up because it's so nice at protecting like the Sentinel and the Rex Sage, and like reusing them maybe in the future. Oh, there's a Wisdom off the top. Simon, just in time, exiled that graveyard.
Interesting. Yeah, Simon deciding to go for the long game here, and yeah, it's paying off beautifully.
Got to compliment Simon real quick on that board state. Structuring. He's just on point. Looks beautiful.
Yeah, this is. I mean, looks like all the practicing is really paying off here, and this is exactly how Magic should be, right? Like it should reward the kind of practice makes perfect mindset. if you have a group of friends, just get together, make a Discord server, start testing together, write down your results, track the results, try to figure out how the decks match up against each other. Some thinking outside the box, like Willie Edel, if he was possibly really boarding out the creatures and going for like a burn plan. Try different things, see what works. And yeah, then you can crash the tournament just like Simon Nielsen, Guglielmo Lupi, and it was a third,
Stefan
Schütz. Yeah.
We don't talk about Raul. He was part of
he was in day 2 though, right?
He got into the draw bracket very early on day 1 because he lost against the Angel, a 7-mana Angel that you can't lose the game. And then he was just paired to control every round.
Yeah.
That's one of the harder matchups for the Simic deck.
You really don't want to get draws at these events, especially with a deck that's not great against control.
A suicidal Gran here running into the Sentinel.
Yeah. Desperate times called that for desperate measures.
Yeah, Lorenzo was really hoping to draw a lesson with that loot. Now he's actually killing the Rex Sage. Simon maybe would have liked to have that bounce off up. And could have protected one of these 2 creatures at least.
Combustion Technique deals with the Sentinel of Lost Lore. But I mean, Simon with a Quantum Riddler and another Nature's Rhythm in hand has to be feeling pretty good about this game.
Yeah. This might be
Is this the last card from Lupi's, from Groupie's hand?
Lupie has a Wisdom. I mean, this might just be... Is this Craterhoof time? We have 8 mana here. It's not enough, I guess, because, but like he can still do something very powerful this turn. Gets the Badgermole. That adds a ton of mana here.
That's a good start. Plus now you have the 3 rhythms, or the 1 rhythm in the graveyard that you can harmonize back.
He could just cast the Riddler here from hand to draw 2 cards, leaving bounce off up. That's a pretty good line, and then have the Rhythm for next turn. Of course, he can also Rhythm for Ouroboros. That's a pretty reasonable line as well. Oh, he's just going to cast it for 2 mana. Fair enough. Tapping the Badger. And they're phoning an Ouroboros, and he has 6 mana over. Yeah, that's a decent turn.
Yeah, I think my thinking here would be to try to set up for lethal next turn. Like, I just don't want to give my opponent extra time. There is 2 lessons in the graveyard now, so Accumulate Wisdom is pretty close to being an Ancestor Recall, which is exactly the way they can get back into this game. So, sure, Simon is thinking about that as well, trying to find a board position so that he can next turn possibly get the Craterhoof Behemoth for the kill.
He's just harmonizing for Executes 4 here with the Nature's Rhythm. Oh, look at that. Simon keeps on being the control role here. Yeah. Yeah,
that's another route you can take. This way you also take Accumulate Wisdom out of the equation by just eliminating their graveyard. Yeah, I guess this is what comes from the experience from testing the games.
Yes.
Simon just realizing, okay, I've played this type of game, 100 times, and the only ways I lost was my opponent getting back into the game by casting, chaining some Accumulate Wisdoms. So I'm just going to play around that. I'm just going to proactively get rid of their graveyard, and I'm going to take this option away. And then, yeah, without the Ancestrals, there really isn't all that much they can do with pretty much an empty hand to get back.
Yeah, just a masterclass we are witnessing here.
It also just really looks like this deck was well positioned for the tournament. Like sometimes you have these events where you just choose the deck perfectly and the field ends up being exactly what you thought it would be, and the matchup actually also goes exactly the way you thought it would go. And I guess that's exactly what the guys proved, right? With them finishing first or in the finals, 4th, and then then that's a pretty good showing. You don't get that feeling very often. Like in Magic, Magic is a game of, very small edges, and normally the top deck ends up being something like, Teamer Energy, where everybody has to play the mirror, and the mirrors are kind of random. Here, it's just the guys showing up with Simic Ouroboros and just completely crushing everybody because their deck is firing on all cylinders, doing all the things.
And I will say, I mean, a lot of people brought Simic Ouroboros, and I think, not to unnecessarily hype them up too much, but they tested so much and they figured out the best sideboard strategies I think their sideboard strategy in this matchup specifically is absolutely great. And not only playing the best decks, also having a really good plan is just so important. And that makes the difference, and that showcases in their rankings here in this tournament. I mean, putting 3 people into the top 10 is quite amazing.
Guess what happened? Lorenzo Gruppi did, in fact, find another Accumulate Wisdom, which was kind of his way of getting back into the game. There's another Accumulate Wisdom. So he would have been able to chain them, but Simon, playing circles around that, has that Keen-Eyed Curator, which was tapped in response and got rid of one of the lessons. I wonder, is there still any mana left over?
Yeah, he has a blue floating, and now in response...
Wow,
Simon realized the mistake.
Yeah, right.
He needed to do it on the stack.
Yeah,
still.
He needed to exile both at the same time instead of letting the Wisdom resolve. That is a pretty big deal, actually.
Yeah.
This gives Gruppi 3 cards instead of 1.
Yeah. Did he draw another Wisdom? Yeah, he did.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
But he has to fire it off right now.
He has a Monument. I think there's a Talent and a Wisdom, so this is certainly...
And Simon did not... The rhythm is gone, so there's no Crater Hoofing. Simon might still have lethal, to be fair. He could just bounce. I think this is lethal, actually. Yeah, this is lethal. If Simon just, if Gruppi taps out here for the Wisdom, which he kind of honestly has to in a way, he's just gonna die to bounce off on the Order plus Ouroboros. That's too much damage.
3, 6, 8.
Yeah, we're looking at 8, 10, 12. Yeah, it's like 17, 18, 19 or something.
Gruppi just cast the Talent, and yeah, I guess he feels pretty safe with the Otter in play as a blocker, but we do know Simon has that bounce spell in hand. So yeah, just a tap line and pass. I think this game might be over. Let's see if Simon can find the winning line, or if it does indeed.
That breeding pool was pretty fast.
Yeah. All right, bouncer token. Here's an Ouroboros. Put some counters on my creatures. That's 3, 7. Yeah, that's exactly more than 16.
It's exactly more than 16.
I was going to say exactly a number, but I'm just going to say it's over 16. So yeah, well, congrats to Simon picking up game number 1. We're going to go to sideboarding now. And how does that change? Oh yeah, before we do that, actually, we have some stuff to give away. We have a special giveaway that we're going to do in the Fanfinity Twitch chat. So when you're watching the broadcast here, you can watch on Fanfinity YouTube, you can watch on Fanfinity Twitch channel, and you can watch on the Ultimate Guard live Twitch channel. So right now, if you head over to the twitch.com/Fanfinity channel, you go into the chat and you type #UltimateGuard. That is how you're going to get entered into the giveaway for this really, really sweet Katara playmat and also an Ang Boulder. So we're going to send you this avatar package. It's going to go directly to your home. You just need to send us your address. Go to the chat, twitch.tv/Fanfinity. Go into the chat and type #UltimateGuard. That's how you're going to enter the giveaway. And Emma over there is going to end the giveaway at some point during the sideboarding or before we start the next game. And we're going to pick a winner that's going to get this sweet avatar package.
Yep, head over there. I already see people slamming #UltimateGuard. Awesome, guys.
Make sure you go in the Fanfinity Twitch channel. That is important.
Yes, not in the Ultimate Guard live. Right. Fanfinity, guys, on Twitch. FANFINITY. Fanfinity.
In the meantime, both players are trying to figure out their sideboards. Perhaps we can take a look at that as well, put it on the screen, and talk about how they're both going to approach sideboarding. So here we have Simon's sideboard on the screen. We've seen this many times. So for the last time this weekend, how does Simon as the Simic Ouroboros player approach the matchup post board against Is It Lessons?
Finally, I can talk freely. There's no more hurting my teammates, giving away all the tech. We're in the finals. No, I'm joking. Of course, I gave you all the truth I had to give in the prior rounds as well. We have Zurax coming in. We have Scrap Shooters, Key Knight Curator, Solga Atlanta, the Vivian is coming in, the Spider Sense is coming in, the Basing Sea is coming in, and Unable to Scream as well. We might as just shuffle the entire sideboard in and just take out some of these Melt Striders Resolve. Yeah, that's the sideboard plan. It's really, really transformative. I think a lot of people were not prepared for that type of sideboard plan from the Lessons side. And yeah, we're taking out the Spider Manifestations, we're taking out the Mage's Vision, we're taking out some Ouroboros, we're taking out them Hof maybe, we're taking out some of those Gene Pollinators. So we're really turning into a blue-green Riddler, interactive control, not control, but mid-range.
Mid-range, yeah, mid-range value.
Yeah, exactly. And the Lessons opponents are just not necessarily prepared for that plan because they have like these Pyroclasms or whatnot. And this worked out well during the tournament against Stefan and Guillermo. 8-1 in the Lessons matchup, which is impressive.
Yeah, this is the one issue I have with the Lessons deck. I would like to see some kind of a, not really a transformational sideboard, but to be able to switch gears, like bring in maybe Planeswalkers. You know, people are bringing in Rex Sages against you. They have a Braids. You know, they have ways to remove the Monument and the Artist Talent. So I would like to see the sideboard being some kind of, I'm going to transform into this Planeswalker control. I'm going to make your Braids useless. You know, that type of thing. Does it have access to anything like that?
Absolutely, yeah. We saw Ral Crackling Mage, I believe, in recent lists. Even in the main deck, that's a great one that goes around, you know, Annul, Liberate, Reclamation Sage, all those things, Graveyard Hate, and then Quantum Riddler is a popular one as well. Here in this tournament, we have seen less of them, I would say, than we've had in the past. People have maybe gone down on them a little bit for maybe reasons of being cleaner and having more sideboard cards against like stuff like the Landfall deck, which has popped up. Here in Lorenzo's sideboard, we see Jace Reawakened, which is a pretty sweet one. Maybe he's going to bring that one in. But yeah, otherwise he just has one singular Quantum Riddler, no Ral in the 75, so he does not have much of a transformative plan. And with open deck lists, Simon also knows that. So Simon can really just disrupt the Monument, disrupt the Graveyard, and he'll know that with 4 Riddlers in his deck, he's probably going to have the more powerful late-game draw engine. Yeah. Essence Scatter, Flash Freeze, Torture Tower, probably Iris Demonstration as well. We have some cards coming in here from Lorenzo's side. And yeah, he's looking to board out maybe some of those Storm Chasers talent, maybe some of those Boomerang basics. Usually Is It Lessons players go towards those against the cup decks when they're looking for cards to take out.
Yeah, that's the one thing with the Is It Lessons deck. If your opponents go after the Monuments and the Talents and also after your Graveyard, then your deck becomes a lot weaker. Here we see the main deck of Lorenzo one more time. This is the version with Storm Chasers Talent. We also saw a couple players choosing a different build this weekend. Players like Andrzej Strasky and Lukasz Jaklowski decided to cut the talent and also go down to 2 Boomerang basics because they thought that they would rather have access to extra counters like Spell Pierce and an extra Eloquentia. And they thought it was better to have the deck set up this way in the mirror and against Blue-Green Cup. So that is perhaps something to you know, consider or explore in the upcoming weeks if you're also thinking about playing the Lessons deck.
Looks like we have 2 quick mulligans here. They looked at their opening hands and they were both just, no, that is definitely not going to cut it today.
Yeah, both of these decks are pretty good at mulliganing. The Simic deck has so many mana dorks that you can just mulligan into a, you know, land or elf and whatever is kind of a good keep already. For Lorenzo, he has a lot of card selection. So these types of Izzet decks are always really, really good at mulliganing because you're very good at finding the land drops and, you know, finding more cards that find more cards, drawing more cards, and you just have access to all the card selection. We have the top 8 player surveys here. Anything interesting?
We have a Nielsen's player survey. He just didn't even write his first name, just name Nielsen. Previous Magic accomplishments of Simon Nielsen's are being in the booth with Filipa, heart, and doing videos with Mango, and a heart as well. Cringe. Just kidding. Oh, yeah, so wholesome.
Oh boy.
No, I mean, Simon is a pleasure to
He's our friend.
He's a friend.
Yeah,
so
we can only say that because he's our friend. Don't get the wrong idea.
No,
Brutal. Wow.
Yeah, what a lovely answer, no? Yeah. He said, why did I choose this deck for this weekend? It feels the most well-positioned into the other cup decks, and Riddler is so powerful in this shell. Team effort by Team Handshake Marksfield, specifically Zompar, which is Guillermo Lopi, Stefan Schütz, who got 10th, and Raul Porian and Nathan Stoyer.
Nice. I love the shout out to the teammates and the guys that you worked on with the deck. I'm looking at Lorenzo's survey, and he thought that after Worlds, Lessons seemed to be the best deck. Tried it a few times. Tried a few different decks just in case, but then locked in the Lessons because it was quite clear that is the best deck, and I decided to do it early. So yeah, that was kind of like watching Worlds. I was also thinking, if I'm playing Lyon, what would I play? And then I just saw Seth destroy everybody with the Lessons deck. And I'm like, this deck just looks awesome. You're playing Ancestral Recalls. Everything costs 1 or 2 mana. You have a lot of interaction. This deck just seems great. Game 2 is underway. Simon up a game. Grand for Lorenzo on turn 1. So the best possible opener for him. And Simon also has a Llanowar Elf on turn 1.
That was a huge draw step, Martin.
What do you find?
Lorenzo did not have a second land, and
really
right off the top here.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Well, on a multi-6, you sometimes gotta take a bit of a risk. Lorenzo decided that.
Yeah, with the Grand, I think that.
Yeah, with the extra redraw, and yeah, there it is, Artist Talent. So now it's Lorenzo on the play with the best possible opener his deck is capable of, with that possible turn 3 Momentum Endurance.
I will say, I'm not sure I love this play. I would have liked him to just pass here, I think, because he doesn't have a removal spell in hand. If he had a removal spell, I'm fine tapping out for the talent there, but he did have Quench. So I think I like it a little bit more to just quench the Badgermole or the Spider Manifestation, whatever 2-drop comes at him here, so he can continuously attack the Grand. Because now that he doesn't have a removal spell, he's not able to loot with the Grand. And
this
doesn't even have an answer to Badgermole, so this is
a great point. If this goes wrong, if my opponent has the Badgermole Cub, not only are they going to have a crazy mana advantage, and the Eloquentia will actually just turn into a useless card, but also my Grand doesn't get to attack, exactly like you said. So it's a double whammy. Yeah, that does seem like a line you can definitely consider as well. And yeah, it went horribly wrong here for Lorenzo, as Simon is able to deploy both a Badgermole Cub and a Keen Eye Curator. And as you said, there is no removal.
That
might have been just been
prevented, yeah. That might have just been gamed. That could have been prevented. So yeah, now Lorenzo probably priced into casting, maybe playing a land and casting the Accumulate Wisdom. Sorry, not Accumulate, Abandoned Attachments. Discarding the Quench, maybe trying to find a removal spell for this Badger. Tapping out for the Monument is gutsy. I can see that line as well.
Yeah,
because you kind of are hoping for the best with the Abandoned Attachments, trying to find that removal as well. Here we see that one of unable to screen drawn for Simon. So yeah, Lorenzo is just saying, hey, I'm just hoping you have a bunch of mana dogs or lands in hand. You don't have a Roboid, and I get to do my stuff here with my 3 most powerful permanents already in play on turn 3.
Yeah, Magic is a game of judgment calls and small decisions. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And
Magic is also a game of Badgermole Cups.
Magic is a game of Badgermole Cups, yes. Ancestor Recalls and Badgermole Cups.
I think Simon is going to empty his hand here. Wow, that is amazing. You love to see it. No more lands, just creatures.
just your casual turn 3, 20 power on board, something like that. No big deal. 50 mana. And also an attack for 7 for good measure. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. We know that there's nothing in the Is It Lessons deck like a Day of Judgment. There are usually cards like Pyroclasm or Fire Magic, but I don't think Lorenzo has a way of dealing with a bunch of 3 or higher toughness creatures.
The only sweeper type effect Lorenzo has is Arrow's Demonstration, but that's just 1 damage.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's looking pretty grim. I mean, this was just Simon showcasing here the power. This is turn 3 of the game.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, Simon did just get to Goldfish, right? Like by Lorenzo deciding to just try to go for the aggressive play by deploying the talent into the monument, hoping that Simon doesn't have a powerful hand. Yeah, that kind of backfired a little bit. And yeah, Simon just got to Goldfish and basically, you know, did what his deck is supposed to do.
Yeah. Lorenzo can cast accumulate. Sorry, again, abandoned attachments. Been a long tournament. Been a long day casting. To draw some cards here, but even if he kills the Ouroborite, he can chump block a Keen-Eyed and take 2, 10, 14. Yeah, that's lethal still. So I'm not quite sure. Well, it all starts with casting abandoned attachments.
I do want to point out that even if Lorenzo decides to go for the Eloquentia line, it doesn't seem like he's got enough interaction. Like, sure, he would have bought himself a lot of time.
He could have then played Monument and attacked with Grand, for example, which is quite
yeah,
a nice
I guess he did draw the 3rd land. That's true. He did draw. He drew the 3rd land right away. Yeah, that is actually true. Simon did end up having 2 Badger Mole Cups. But yeah, it would have been a different game, that's for sure. It was a long tournament, though. This is basically round number, 18? No buys. You got to wake up at 8 a.m. both days or 7 a.m. Get ready for the tournament. There's sometimes, longer delays. The day 1, it usually ends around 8, 9 p.m. You don't usually get a lot of sleep. Get ready for day 2. Lots of thinking, lots of decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And playing the talent on turn 2 on the play is something you do like 90% of the time or 80% of the time.
Yeah.
Right? But just in that specific situation, without a removal in hand and against the most explosive deck in Standard, I do think you do have to keep up that Eloquentia.
I'm not sure if you saw that, but Simon was just kind of winking into the camera. So he's pretty sure that he's got this game locked up. No, yeah, I mean, they know each other's deck list. He knows there is no, kind of sweeper for this turn.
Yeah.
Does he have lethal next turn? It's 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he's got to have lethal, right?
Yeah, well, not necessarily. I mean, if
the Ouroboros dies, I think that's still enough, right?
Well, it depends.
5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's still enough.
Yeah, there's some shenanigans Lorenzo can do here. Like, he picked up a firebending lesson, so he can like loot again, make a treasure. Yeah, but and then he can find like a combustion technique, cast that to kill the Ouroborite. All right, so he's choosing to draw 2, and he found a flash freeze, I believe, and now he's gonna get the monument trigger. He's making a treasure. Yeah, now he has to cast a lesson to find combustion technique.
I was just going to say, there's certainly a lesson to be learned in this match, and that is you can't really let Badger Mole Cup either resolve or live, because then bad things are going to happen to you. We can take that away.
Yeah.
It is.
If that's your takeaway after sort of 18 rounds of Magic here, I'm glad you learned something.
It is quite a busted card.
Yeah, it is one of the most ridiculous cards. Like, to be fair, we have not. People have complained in recent years almost. It's been years that green has just not been that great of a color in Standard.
True.
Like Domain, Up the Beanstalk be around. But yeah, now it's back with a vengeance here with Llanowelf and Badger Mole Cup being best friends. And there we see a flash, freeze discarded, and...
Yeah, this is just not what Lorenzo was looking for.
Wait.
I mean, I don't really know what he was looking for, but it's just not there.
What is it?
Yeah, well, there's a handshake. Wow, congratulations to Simon Nielsen for winning Spotlight Avatar here in Lyon, France. Look how excited he is. Good stuff.
Yeah, amazing. Simon just had to get the most camera time when he's not here in the booth on coverage. You know, he still got it. What a way to start the year. He's going to Richmond for the Pro Tour, which is also going to be standard. So that's a great way to prepare yourself and have a lot of confidence going into that.
Yeah. 2 weeks from now, right?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay.
3 weeks, yes.
Yeah, if you're excited about standard as much as we are, not only is Lorwyn Eclipse going to change things, especially with Spell Snare.
Spell Snare,
standard.
Edel push coming in, also a great way, not the requiting hex, I believe it's called. Similar to Fatal Push, kills Badgermole for 1 mana, so that's certainly going to come in handy in this format.
That's going to change standard for sure. So in 3 weeks, make sure you pay attention to the Pro Tour in Richmond. Also, Lorwyn, just one of the all-time best sets. You know, so much flavor.
I'm just excited to be back.
Yeah.
I was like 10 years old, I think, when Lorwyn came out. Yeah, I was a kiddo, and I really enjoyed that sort of whole flavor of fantasy and the tribal theme, elves and all of that. Really, really cool. I'm excited to be back.
All right, so before we get Simon into the interview area, let's wrap up real quick. Anything memorable from this weekend? Like anything you learned? I'm sure you were also paying close attention to the games because you are going to Richmond as well, and you want to learn as much as possible. And watching the games, actually, that makes me learn a lot. It sometimes makes me learn more than actually playing the games myself. How are you feeling right now? Obviously, you can't spoil everything your team is working on or whatever, but how are you feeling right now in terms of how standard is positioned?
I'm excited about it, honestly. I've certainly, I think the presumption I had going in that Lessons and Simic Ouroboros were sort of the 2 best techs got confirmed. And yeah, from here on, we will see what the Lorwyn cards bring to the table to sort of change that. But yeah, I've certainly absorbed, just like you did, a lot of the matches and how the play patterns worked out, and I'm honestly ready to get into it. I've also did some gaming myself today in between the breaks of casting.
Arne managed to qualify for the Arena Championship, playing on his laptop between the rounds for the 3rd time in a row, by the way. No big deal, while we're casting here. So yeah, good stuff. Congratulations to him as well. But we're being told the interview with Simon is ready. So before we throw it to Simon and Carl, thanks to our sponsors again, eBay Live and Ultimate Guard. Thanks a lot. Without you, this event wouldn't be possible. Thanks a lot to everybody, to Fanfinity, CSL, great production, again, amazing stream, great quality. Thanks to you guys, everybody watching, people interacting in Twitch chat. Thanks to everyone who obviously came to the event. And yeah, that said, congrats to Simon again. We're gonna throw it to Carl and him. And yeah, everybody take care.
Simon! Let's bring him in! Simon Nielsen, everyone! Our very own from the casting. Give me an S.
S.
Give me an I.
I.
Won $10,000.
What?
$10,000. Congratulations, you are the winner of the Spotlight Series. Now, tell me, how was your day off of the office?
Well, I just, I showed up, I did my thing. Honestly, I've been trying to, shake off, my, mental, issues I've had, the past year, and just trying to, play the game as, only the next round, Matt. There's only one more round every round, right? So I just keep showing up for the match until someone hands me a trophy and says I'm not allowed to play Magic anymore. And so
you're done for the day.
That's where I am.
You've been playing excellently all weekend. Listen, Simon, not only are you back on the Pro Tour, but you're back with a vengeance.
Yeah!
The Spotlight Series. Congratulations, Simon. Thank you for all the judges. Thank you for all the casting team. Thank you for everyone that played. Thank you for whoever brought Simon here.
Thanks to Fred for the keynote curator.
Thank you, Simon. Mom. Thank you, Martin. We're going to bring you more magic because we're done here in France. We're going to send it to the casters all the way in the US for another Spotlight Series. In the meantime, Simon here is going to celebrate. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Do we have some sponsors to thank as well?
We got some wonderful sponsors to thank. So thank you to Ultimate Guard and eBay Live for bringing us this show.
And thank you to you for watching. Stick around. We're sending you to the US. Don't get too dizzy.
Yay!